All right. So, Kronos sits alone on a bench at the edge of one of the islands, his legs dangling over the side to the abyss below. The next step taken, two continue to become one as the haze of the path forward clears. It's a miracle how quickly friends can turn to enemies and enemies turn to friends, both for mortals and immortals, both a blessing and a curse. As I watched from my remote view of the events transpire in the arena, I saw everything change. For the first time, two sides came together and combined their forces to build a mighty weapon to defeat an unstoppable force, had they remained stuck in their ways. I could not tell you if there was a grander plan in all of this, if this was a dress rehearsal for a play shortly to come, but I choose to believe. The final game in the set of three is now over, with one win to each side and a tie for the third. Now, by rule of law, there must be one final event to settle things for good. I wish I could help them, do more than just stand by and let them fight my battles for me. They call me a god, after all, but what kind of god does nothing for his own stead? With my divinity stripped from me, my powers are limited, but I can still feel the flow of time. I can feel it flowing through my fingers, and I'm unable to grasp hold of it, to shape it as I should. What's even worse is I feel the flow of sand thinning. It is nearly dust now, where once it was an outpouring. Our time is nearly up. The loops have stretched my timeline too thin, as it is worn down over and over and over again. What would happen should it become so thin it breaks? Never before has the universe been without time. Even a place such as this, that exists outside of the flow of time, still embodies it, just in different form. The stakes are higher than they realize, and I can only hope she knows what she's doing. And Khajiit emerges from the shadows of a tree nearby and sits down next to Kronos on the bench and speaks in a quiet, calm voice, unlike Khajiit. Each of us can only play the part that we have been given and trust it will work out for the best. I have done just about all I can for them now. Just my final thing to play. He gets up and he places his hand on Kronos' shoulder and he puts his hat on. May your fate be sealed with your heart, Warden of Time. Kronos gives a sad smile as he looks forward out into space. And may your deck of cards continue to draw nothing but jokers, Warden of Chaos. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you have a show to get to. Khajiit smiles and walks away, turning to purple mist, which swirls around and soars through the air, coalescing on top of the restaurant. Previously on F3 Fight for the Future, after an exciting hunt that resulted in a twist ending, we had an arena fight that also ended in a twist ending. Oh boy, if this keeps up much longer, it's going to get tedious. As such, I will commit myself to being as predictable and dull as possible. I'm just kidding. That's scientifically impossible. Just ask the wizard who trapped me in his tower and fed me for over a year. After a void spawn prime erupted out of the earth and ate the other two small void spawn, the team had to build a giant gun from parts distributed throughout the arena and fire it upon the beast. Remind me to thank the arms dealer I procured the pieces for this gun. I believe his name was Chekhov? Wait, no, it was definitely Charkov. The battle ended in a surprise tie when the two sides gamed the system and fired the killing shot together at the same time. Each side was awarded an instrument from my collection, and now the final act of our play draws near as we find out who the winner will be in the end. So, Ailia,
Hey.
as you sleep, your dreams are interrupted by a punch that you don't see coming that spins you around and makes your vision swim.
Yo, what the fuck?
You see a seasoned dragonborn knight, male with a distinctive blue tint to his scales. You recognize this knight from tales and statues. This is Kanan Cerulean, Banisher of the Darkness. You first see him at the Battle of Cindersong, his first iconic battle. He stands alone at the front gate, holding off an army of Eldritch Abominations, 300 strong. But a handful of his forces remain. He conjures a great darkness and begins to fight with a feral ferocity with fist and magic, slaying his foes with immortal strength and when the darkness clears, he alone is left standing. Cheers can be heard from the ramparts as the city welcomes him home, but he looks haunted, hollow even. Wham! You're struck hard in the face as you spin around again. You see him speaking to a creature in the dark and rejecting its offers of power over and over again. But then you see him looking around as his dragonborn brethren fall to eldritch abominations, at the inevitability of the fall of Cinder's song and one final offer. He accepts, and he goes out to meet that army alone. Wham! You're hit in the face again. He is now being given commands by his new patron, the Midnight King, making Kanan do more and more in his name, tainting his name and bloodying his hands. You see the moment Kanan's delusion breaks, the one where he believed he was still in control, that he could stop whenever he wanted. He stands over the dead body of a friend as he opens a portal and the Nightmare King steps through from where he was trapped. Wham! You're hit again in the face. Terra Essentia is plunged into darkness, and eldritch abominations wreak havoc on towns and cities across the plane while Kanan's master takes his throne at the eye of the world. Kanan is young now, training at a monastery. Military recruiters come and watch the young trainees and spot Kanan's skill immediately. They induct him into the military to utilize his skill. Wham! You're hit in the face again. Kanan is older now, even older than before. He has turned to drink after hitting rock bottom and knowing what he did to the world, that he broke it by trying to save it. It's years later now. Something stirs in his eyes. Vengeance. He begins to sharpen his body again to train, but does not give up the drink, the failure. He embraces it and uses it as fuel. He creates an entirely new style of hand-to-hand combat, the way of the drunken master, and he begins to recruit and train others in this new form. Wham! You're hit in the face again. He's standing in the darkness now at the entrance of the Eye of the World, his famous 100 drunk monks behind him as they flow through the doors towards the Nightmare King. Kanan is in a different land now. It's unknown to you. It's fire and rock and lava flows. A fiery being pulls something with its tongs out of the lava and sits it down. It's cracked open and a simple ring is revealed and is handed to Kanan. He puts it on and his arm catches fire, but does not burn. Runes etch up his arm and onto his forehead, and he gives a murderous smile. You hear the words, Pact Breaker, spoken in Infernal. He removes it, and the runes fade. Wham! You're hit in the face again. Kanan is back on the battlefield, in the darkness with his warriors, making their way to the throne, but getting beat back. 6 figures approach, in blue and pink. You recognize some of them as the residents of the Nexus. Guerin is not yet machine-bound and leaps and rolls with ease. You vaguely recognize Cassandra and Marcos, and there is an Arcanoloth, a turtle, and a flaming owlbear. They turn the tide, and Kanan makes his rush forward. The group does battle with the Nightmare King, and he attempts to seize control of Kanan, but he activates the ring and is finally free, even if it was just a short time. He pummels his patron with fists as the runes begin to fade, the clock ticking. The Nightmare King begins to laugh as artillery and magic fly across the battlefield around them. A moonbeam moves across the field in their direction as the runes flicker and vanish, and the Nightmare King takes back control, and Kanan is unable to attack him. They lay on the ground together as the Nightmare King begins to get up, but the last glow of the rune on Kanan's arm sparks, and Kanan locks his arm in place and lets out a scream and rolls both of them into the moonbeam. They are both incinerated as they catch fire and turn to ash. Wham! You're hit in the face again. The Omega Core agents approach the scene, and you see Kanan's hand with the ring laying just outside of the beam's area. The flaming owlbear changes shape and turns into a young tiefling woman who reaches down and picks up the ring. The group gather together and look at the ring, trying to determine what to do with it. Lightning crashes, and an electric strum reverberates across the rocks as the darkness is clearing after the fall of the Nightmare King. A figure is silhouetted against the rising sun, guitar in one hand as his tail swishes behind him as he grips his feathered hat in the other. Khajiit Desperanza de la Vega steps down from his rock and outstretches his hand to the tiefling woman and places his hand over hers, closing it over the ring. He leans forward and whispers something inaudible in her ear, and she blinks confused. He then strums his guitar, and they both vanish. Wham! You're hit in the face again. You see the tiefling woman living a quiet life at the edge of a swamp, getting older, and you begin to recognize her. Her face is unmistakable. Wham! You're hit in the face again. You see a young version of yourself as you're learning the way of the druid from this woman, Zoe. Wham, you're at the face again. You're at Zoe's deathbed as she hands you the ring and tells you to never let it go. Wham, you're in the face again. You're standing in the arena fight, Thumper swaying drunkenly from side to side as ki power flows through his fist as he slows you down. You feel something heating in your pocket, more than your wildfire. It's reacting to the ki from his punch, and it transfers through your body, and you spin around. Wham, you're in the face again. You wake up again, and your pocket burns as you scramble inside, and there in your pocket, in the real world, is the ring. The ring you've had since you were a teenager. The ring that Zoe gave you, and you never understood why. Ianthe.
What?
Sorry. I'll take a breather. Here we go.
I thought you just gave this to me as like, an heirloom being like, hey, you're my protege now. What?
I'll let you ruminate on that while I move over to Ianthe now.
I hope you know what to do with that.
I mean, I'm staring at it.
Yes. You have Pact Breaker. Sorry. Water. Okay. Ianthe, as you have spent some time speaking to the other members of the Six, you have felt a weight on you, a nagging feeling in the back of your mind. Helping or sometimes harassing other deities is great and all, but none of them were your deity, the one source of your power. Eldath was noticeably absent from this event, and that was something that you very much wanted to correct. If not for her power and influence, at least for her perspective and insight. And so, around midnight, you set out to commune with your goddess under the moonlight. You were never sure if the moon here was even real in a place like this, but it would have to do. You molded the earth into a large holy symbol and hollowed out a portion in the middle. Then you connected it all to a stream and let the water flow into the connected parts of the symbol and into the middle section where you sit amongst the water flowers. You call to your goddess, and the leaves and the flowers swirl around you in the water and take the form of a tall woman with 4 arms, turning solid, and she rises from the water, standing in the flesh in front of you before sitting on the edge of the water, dangling her legs in. Hold on, I don't have a voice for her yet. Okay. The waves crash, and the rivers flow, and Ianthe alone seeks my guidance. I am too connected to the land in your world to take physical form anymore without ripping apart a continent. But here, in my sister's house, I can once again feel the touch of grass on my fingers and drink from the flowing waters with my lip. But I know your mind, daughter of my heart, for though you are a cleric, you walk in what you can see and what you can touch. And you have no patience for my eloquent speech. So here, take my hand. And she pulls you up out of the water and onto the shoreline and lays your head on her lap and begins to comb your hair. She'll have a fanny pack and has snacks there. Much has happened since we last spoke face to face, though I know you don't remember it. To call it a lifetime ago seems too small a phrase. And before you ask, your failed recollection at your own request was at your own request, and I will only speak of this to you if you speak the word of power to unlock your memory. Ianthe, give me a religion or arcana check, if you wish. You don't have to.
I thought I was gonna have to go digging through notes to find some word that I was like, oh
No.
no.
I wrote it down somewhere.
I didn't.
So the question is, do you want to know? It's the first question. Okay. Okay, so then give me a religion or arcana check with advantage then.
Okay.
Alright, I'm here. What did I miss?
We're just going through the prelude.
Prelude, yes.
Okay.
Not
I think
tons
that's
yet.
a good way, right?
Yeah, that's true. We're in the middle of Ianthe's thing right now. She has summoned Eldath.
Highest roll was a 14.
14? That's sufficient. So the word of power is Kalimahi, which translates to past of my future.
You've said that before.
I have? Interesting.
I've heard that word before, and who else would have said it?
I don't know. I thought I made it up originally, but maybe it's not original.
It sounds like Kalima.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think it sounds like Kali Ma.
Okay. Well, it's incidental. Okay. So, do you speak the word of power?
Definitely.
Okay. So after you speak the word of power, as she speaks, you can see the memory she speaks of in your mind's eye, showing you what she's telling. When we last spoke face to face, I had just returned from a visit to the mortal realm and came to you to return my divinity to me, which you held while I was away. I believe you call it slumming with the pores. This was only the third time you had fulfilled your duties as my steward, and each time the burden weighed heavier and heavier on you. Not just the responsibility, but the limitations most of all. The feeling that you should be able to do everything for everyone, to fix everything, but being stopped from doing so broke you each time. But on this third time, you told me you couldn't do it anymore, that you wanted to go back to become mortal again, so that you had, though your powers were limited, your ability to help others was untethered and infinite. I understood the weight of this position and could see the pain within you, so I granted this to you. You selected a point on the timeline where you felt you could do the most good, help the most people, and you went out there to live your life. The memory of your time as my steward scrubbed from your mind in order to preserve it, and because you didn't want the feeling of knowing the power you came from lingering over you, changing you. It was no wonder you followed the teachings of my church, as you helped me write some of them, just as it was no wonder that you never worshipped me like some others did, because deep down, you knew that immortality and power does not a god make. You've felt that power yourself, and it makes you different, but it doesn't make you AO. She picks up a flower in the river and she kind of puts it in your hair. Now, I know you have questions. Divinity above, you always have so many questions. And I love that about you. But our time is brief and of much import is upon us. So speak your mind, but remain focused. Ayante?
Listen, I panicked. I'm just kidding.
I peed myself. Oh, no.
I wasn't ready. Okay. Well, because you didn't have Iolia say anything, so I wasn't expecting you to like...
I know. This is different. I'm giving the opportunity to ask your deity, Eldath, a couple of questions. Everybody else got to, you know?
This is awesome.
Yeah, I think I have 2
Mm-hmm.
points that I am focused on.
Okay.
Number 1, why?
That's
And I'll be more specific.
right. Okay. It's good.
I'm thinking.
Why I'm thinking, that's the question.
I'm thinking.
That would be I am thinking. Why is AO unmoved? Why are mortals at the hands of children? Why have you not acted?
Who's to say that AO isn't moved and he has not acted? First of all, bold of you to assume that he hasn't. Even if
You know I'm bold.
yes, that's true. He oftentimes works more indirectly than directly through others. That being said, I don't know his mind, and I haven't spoken to him on this. So I cannot tell you specifically other than that, honestly. Though I do know AO, and I do know that he wouldn't just do absolutely nothing. He has done something, of that I'm certain. What that entails exactly, I don't know. It's possible that you're part of the plan. Actually, I would say it's pretty likely, honestly. Whatever that plan may be. What was the other part of the question? Why haven't I done anything?
I mean, yeah, so the second part was why are mortals at the mercy of children? And then why have you why have you not
think it was
why have you not stopped this, or
This event?
not that you're responsible for it, but how can you see what they're doing?
You mean my brothers and sisters?
Yes.
I have spent a lot of my life, actually, reining in some of the worst impulses of my siblings. I continue to do it to this day, honestly. I do what I can. I do not control them. I can only offer them advice and guidance. And what I will say is that when Tanabris killed my sister, I went to AO, and he did something about it. So I do intervene when I can and where I can. Each of us has a limited scope of what we have control over. I don't mean that necessarily just metaphorically either. I mean, literally, we each have a domain we are in charge of and can't really step beyond it. That being said, I try my best, and I know that that's not a good enough answer for you, and I'm sorry. But I also do have limitations, as much as I hate to say it. I'm not allowed to intervene to the extent that you would wish me to. And I know this because you've told me before, and we've had this conversation before, and you've felt those limitations yourself, and you couldn't stand it. I don't know if that's helpful, honestly, but that's what I can
do not
give you.
expect omnipotence. I understand.
Okay. Well, that's
So
good
the
to hear.
second, I understand that the weight on your and AO's minds must be impossible to imagine. Can you give credit where credit's due? Like, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the people who are causing trouble.
Yes,
So the second focus
understandable.
is how do I protect life?
More than you've already been doing. I mean, you've been doing your best. I
do not want to see the mortal realm destroyed.
Yes.
In all the life in it. If I and my team and everyone here, if we don't make it out, that's fine. I just want to make sure that life is not destroyed in the process.
Well, this isn't any consolation to you, but it wouldn't have been the first time. But that being said, I also don't want that. And if I could do something to prevent it, I would. The fact of the matter is that not only am I barred from directly interfering with another god, but I simply am not strong enough to do so. And it would simply destroy me with no hope of success. And I know that probably isn't helpful to hear since you don't have the power I do. But the thing is that mortals have a very interesting and special way of, I want to say, skirting the system. You aren't bound by the rules that immortals are, the gods are, which is strange to say, Because you think of immortals and deities as having endless power, but that's not true. We actually have more power. We have far more restrictions. So I would say that you probably have a better chance to do this than any of the rest of us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes. Trevor, I think you misunderstood my question.
Oh, okay. Ha! Got me. All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's a good
No,
thing.
okay.
When you started, I was like, I think he's gonna go somewhere. That's not what I asked.
Ask again.
Sorry. No, so it was like she was saying how like what do I do to make sure that the outcome is that life remains?
Oh, how do you win?
Well, I mean, she doesn't care about winning or losing. How do I fix this? How do I fix broken bonds? How do I restore peace? How do I make sure that the mortal realm is not destroyed in this bickering?
So, something that honestly Thraxian has taught me is that sometimes you have to destroy in order to have new life. And I hate that so very much. It goes against everything in my being. And that's why I don't really want to be here for this event. Because deep down, I know what has to happen. And I know that I can't do it. And I know that if I was here, that I would try and stop it. And that needs to not happen. So
I understand that. I understand for new life, fires in the wilderness allow space for new life at the expense of the old life.
mhm.
But why is there a need for new life at this time? Or is it your new life? Maybe you and your siblings need a reset.
Well, that's the thing.
Wow.
Actually, you have hit it on its head, honestly. That is exactly what needs to happen, not necessarily for all of us, but for one individual in particular, needs a bit of a reset, if nothing else. And I think you misunderstood when I said the destruction needs to happen sometimes. I guess that sounded a little too much like Tanibris talk, doesn't it? I don't mean that we need to destroy the universe in order to have new life. What I meant, because you're right, that does sound a bit like what my brother would say, right? This is the problem, we spend too much time together. Some of our phraseology kind of off similar. And
I think it's cute.
well, thank you. And
Because he's cool too.
he's cool. I mean, he was. I don't know about anymore. But I think that what I meant to say is that sometimes you have to, well, I'll just say it. And you have to kill someone in order to save everyone. And that's not something I'm capable of. And I don't know if you're capable of either, honestly. That's okay. Sometimes.
How much is one life worth versus the life of everyone else?
Exactly. And sometimes you have to do the hard thing. And it's not something that I have in me. It's not in my nature to do that, honestly. I am, the goddess of life. So it is very much against everything that I am about and everything that I was created to do. And I'm sure you have similar feelings on the matter as well. But people like us understand the necessity for other kinds of people to do the hard thing that we can't do, that we see as necessary. So sometimes we have to step back and let it happen because we know it has to. Does that help at all?
I understand.
Okay. Anything else from me? I have crackers.
Rich.
Thank you.
They're cheesy. Well, that's okay.
I would just say Ianthe is just content to sit in the warmth.
Yeah, absolutely. And she'll stay for a time and just kind of hang out and kind of watch she'll stay until sunrise, basically, and watch the sunrise. And then she will fade back into the water and disappear. At which time you would probably have fallen asleep because it was very late.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, it's a beautiful sunny morning, and Tipper Springstep stretches and crawls out of his burrow. His pointed ears perk up at the sound of raised voices coming from the building that always smells of good food. Him and his family were accustomed to being able to visit this place whenever they wished and eat their fill. But with the arrival of the new big people, his family had warned him to stay away. Utterly ridiculous, if you asked him. There had never been anything dangerous at all in this strange world they had suddenly arrived in a generation ago. He went for his leisurely morning stroll and chased mice and worked on his pounce, like he always did every day. Tipper didn't have a care in the world because everything was always as it should be, always as it was. Or at least, so he thought. He had his leg up in the air as he cleaned a particularly difficult-to-reach spot on his belly when he heard a strange voice shout at him. Now, Tipper did not speak this language, but if he did, he would have heard the words, "Rise and shine, another day, another meat puppet to stop the screaming!" And these words were unfortunately the last thing Tipper Springstep ever heard as a giant buzzsaw axe nailed him right between the ears.
Oh my god!
Oh.
What?
After Mr. Ned's morning breakfast, of which he thankfully never remembered, Dr. Ned felt a strange sensation running through his body. As he let out a particularly blood-curdling burp, strange ethereal wings began to grow out right out of his back. Perfect, thank you. I'm cute. Strange ethereal wings began to grow right out of his back. The Dragonborn has become the dragon, taking flight into the skies, as was originally intended for his people. So, mechanically, what this means is for the next 48 hours, you have gained a flight speed of 60 feet, and anytime you move at least 30 feet toward the creature to attack, your required number to crit is decreased by 1, and you do double the damage. And as a bonus action, you can now also disengage. So, you're welcome. I will also send that to you, Matt. So you don't forget.
Just for that, I quit.
You quit. I know. I'm sorry. Tipper had to go. I'm sorry.
Talking about them cleaning their belly, and I'm just watching my cat cleaning her toes all spread out. Sir.
Oh, dude, those are perfect. I always mess with my cat when she does that.
So, the rest of you awaken and make your way to breakfast. Well, all of you except for one. Nomad is noticeably absent from the morning meal and nowhere to be found in the Nexus. In his room, however, there was placed a single sheet of paper on his pillow with the symbol of a butterfly. In the restaurant, Khajiit stands at the makeshift stage to give an announcement. Sorry, hold on. I need water. The official scoring of this event is as follows. 1 point to Omega Core for the first event, 1 point to the Horsemen of the Multiverse for the second event, and then 1 point to each team for the third event. This unfortunately leaves us to a tie, which, according to the rules as stipulated, means we must undergo a tiebreaker sudden death. This will be a 4 versus 4 event, anything goes bout with a simple scoring and rules system. The event will be Screege Ball, whereby one Screege is put into play in a sports arena, and each team must use any means necessary to get it into the goal of their opponent. When the clock runs down, the team with the highest score wins and will be declared the winner. Both teams' patron deities will be present at the event, as well as all of the guest deities, which includes Fate and Threxion, which means that... Yes?
You can't treat Screech this way.
He's fine. He loves it.
No, he doesn't.
Well, okay. He doesn't love anything, so I can't tell the difference. I'll be honest with you. He's no worse off.
This is a flagrant abuse of the
What?
treaty.
The what?
No, no.
The what? The what? Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
He is a living creature. You cannot treat him this way. Why don't you be the ball?
I am too big.
Grace should be too big.
I am far too sexy. Anyways,
What about your severed head, Khajiit? Can we use that as a ball?
I don't like the way this is going.
Cassie was very enthusiastic about
I
that.
bet he's got 2 little balls somewhere.
Screech will be fine. He is invulnerable. I don't know why you're worried.
Because I like him. He's
I
my
do too,
friend.
but he's also fun to kick around sometimes.
No, he's not. That
Yes,
is
he is.
rude.
Okay, well, you haven't tried it. You can't knock it till you try it, okay? All right? Shush. I am speaking. I am important, and you are... Well, okay, you're also important, but we don't need to get into that, all right? Like, okay. Anyways, the entire sports field will be shielded to block any divine beings or powers from entering the field itself in order to prevent any interference and keep things fair. Okay, so none of anybody with divinity can walk into the arena. Otherwise, they could just go nuts, right? And they can't use any of their divine magic from outside of the bubble either, because I don't want any cheating. At least that's not me. Anyways, best of luck to you all. All right, so
Fake. 'Cause she
Alright,
always
is someone
wants
gonna hold my
cheating.
kid while we play?
Probably me. It was 4v4.
we have a dedicated babysitter. Don't worry. It's going to be
Right.
we have quite a few Omega Corp agents that are totally fine with that. I mean, we have Madame Zim, who is the elderly turtle lady. He's like the grandma of like the the Omega Corp agents. She could totally do it. You could also hand her off to I'm trying to think who's a. I don't think Marcos would be a good babysitter. No.
There's a baby. There's a small fairy dragon that'll take her for an adventure.
That's
Yeah.
true. We have Fairy Dragon. That's true.
My question is, who is she least likely going to kill?
Probably a dragon.
I mean, we have. I mean, we have. Yeah. Let's see. We have Tassandra, who is a really big, beefy. We also have.
Isn't there a half minotaur?
We have Pegada too.
Yeah.
Half minute. We have a Minotaur. That's true.
Give the couple a chance.
The couple. Pegada
Yeah.
and Krondar.
I'll give them a chance.
The
I
giant
suppose.
monster couple, both with an affinity for hammers or anvils.
Yes. Very good. All right. So, congratulations to Pegada and Krondar. You now have a child to take care of. So, that's a new thing.
Temporarily.
Temporarily, yes. So, you are now all free to move about the Nexus and speak to whoever you want and make any final plans and preparations you need to. Just know that you will only have this session to do so, because the next session we will begin Screech Ball. So, do as you will. Go forth. Go forth, children.
Alright. I suppose I could talk to Thraxian.
Okay.
No, I got an idea. We protest.
You protest.
Everyone protest. Refuse to play. We'll pull a Hunger Games.
You know we'll die if we do that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And what are they going to do about it?
Probably
They need
not
us.
Ever, but
Yeah,
the rest of us are contracted for.
I'm pretty sure
doing
that's
it.
not gonna work.
Yeah, they've got us pretty good. Like they'll
We basically signed our life away for these shits. So,
yeah.
sorry, did I say these shits? Sorry, my bad.
You know, it's like retaining an employee versus getting a new employee. It would be really hard for them to go through the whole process again.
Probably be much easier because getting whoever they get to replace us probably won't think so much.
That sounds like a
feel-
them problem.
I know, but I feel like they'll have learned their lesson from us.
Good.
And they'll just get two teams who will do it the way they're used to and fight
Well,
to the death.
at this point, they should just do it themselves.
Yeah, we're still working towards that. So if we just decide not to participate, they will just kill us all, get two groups who will do things the way things have been done in the past, and nothing will change.
Yeah, but their day will be ruined.
so will ours.
It's gonna be ruined either way, isn't it?
Nope. No, don't worry. I have a plan. We won't have to kick Screech. Nobody's gonna have to kick Screech. It'll be fine.
Fine, I trust Cass.
Okay.
So, Giver, you wanted to talk to Thraxian, correct?
Yes.
Okay. He is sitting in the corner, as always, brooding, as he does.
Before I ask if you've made up your mind, I just want to know, do you have any places of worship on the material plane?
Places of worship? Oh, I really wish people would stop, honestly. It gets rather tedious, and I don't really feel all that special. I mean, I kind of feel like I have the shitty job that nobody wants, and I kind of just, I don't know. I don't like it when people, I don't know, worship me and make temples and stuff, so I'd prefer if you didn't, to be honest with you.
Well, well, I can't really stop liking you because.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't. I don't know. If you did, I just want to know, what are your followers like, and do you think they would be accepting of people like me and my child, or are they megalomaniacs?
They're kind of a lot of death cults, and they think that I'm into that. Spoilers, I'm actually not. So, yeah, no, my people are the worst. I don't recommend hanging out with them, I'll be honest with you. I only give them boons because it makes them kill themselves and each other faster, honestly, usually. And it's kind of fun to watch.
Would you prefer if someone like myself taught your ways differently than a death cult? Even if you don't want a big worship party, but I think, I don't know, something about inevitability just really is up my alley.
Sure, you can start the cult of existential crisis. I'm sure that'll go over great. I mean, yeah,
Hey, that's fatherhood in a nutshell.
Actually, you're not wrong. Yeah, okay. I mean, if
What would you know?
if you, I mean, I've seen a lot of things. But you're not here, so shush.
You don't know that. Maybe I followed them over.
That's true. That's true. I suppose I would not be opposed to you trying to take the reins of my rather fanatical followers and rein them in a bit. I wouldn't mind that.
As someone who lived most of his life in the most evil of countries, I think I know how to control a little bit of chaos.
See, that's what I like to hear. Although, sometimes it's best to just embrace the chaos, or at least understand that there's a limit to how much you can control, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's why I say a little bit.
Excellent. Yes,
And finally, if all else fails, where do I go when I die, or is that not your place?
That's a big question. I feel like that's spoiler territory, and I don't want to give away the ending.
Spoiler alert, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, well,
I'm excited.
I won't tell if you're gonna die either, because I don't wanna.
Spoiler alert.
We all die. The spoilers win.
I'd rather. Is it going to be satisfying at least?
When you die?
If I die, like, is my child gonna be involved if I die?
Define involved.
Like, is she going to die with me, or is she going to be spared?
Just because you die doesn't mean she would die. No.
That is fine. I would rather she not die. That as long as she lives, I will be happy with whatever hell I go through.
Well, it's good that you have found peace with that, then.
Peace is a strong word. I say, acceptance, maybe?
Well, you're not stressed about it, so, that's good.
True. Anyway, I'll leave you alone.
Okay. Going back to my soup now. It's pretty good.
Alright. What is it anyway? Sorry.
Oh, it's got eyeballs in it.
I remember Mother making something like that. Never mind. Goodbye.
He goes back to his soup. He slurps very loudly.
Yeah. Very ironic.
Hmm.
As
Right?
Giver kind of heads away, Cassie's gonna be like, I feel like he'd do really well in Siska for some reason. I feel like Siska as a whole would really dig his vibe if he gave us a chance.
What's Siska?
It's where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
I would go to Cassie and try to confer with her. Is it possible that other people are hearing us while we're talking about, or
I'll
can we
just
be
say
quiet
for
enough?
the session that no, right? Just I will assume you'll be finding quiet locations and you will only be talking to people you are actively speaking to, just for sake of ease.
Okay. So I want to ask Cassie and say, hey, let's shore up this plan. If this next competition should your team should win this. Is that correct?
Well, if we can, if we cannot orchestrate another kind of tide, then yes, I think that's theoretically going to give us the outcome we want. The best part is that Screech is. Have you met Screech?
Well, shouldn't
No.
Okay, Cassie's gonna go find the nearest Screech.
Okay, let's go yell into the nearest mushroom and he'll find you.
Yeah, and Cassie's gonna pick up what is essentially like a half of 6-inch to a foot tall sentient mushroom that just looks real mad about being alive.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Hmm.
Hello. What do you want? Have you come to eat me? I don't taste good.
I prefer that.
Are you what I'm sorry. I am learning. I'm kind of assuming like the pattern of like spots on them is all differently. Is this one that I've met before?
Roll a perception check.
There we go.
Only one way to find out.
I don't want to just assume that I know. Like every Screech looks the same.
Yeah.
Oh, here's where we're gonna.
You're a
Hold up.
Screechist.
Let me.
Screeches.
No,
Yes,
what you
Screeches.
do is assume, assert that you know them, and when he doesn't recognize you, gaslight him for being an a-hole.
Exactly. That's what you do.
That
Oh.
feels racist.
What? What part of that is being racist?
It's
It's just mean.
all Screeches look the same. You know.
No one said that.
I know, but that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah.
No, you just either you met him or you didn't. If you've met him before, great. If you haven't, tell him that you have,
Cassie's
and
not,
then act hurt.
that's
Accuse
not
him of
Cassie.
being racist.
Yeah.
Hey, what do we
That's not Cassie's strong suit. Yeah, that's a 9.
The 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah,
They
Okay.
look very similar to each other, so it's hard
Yeah.
to tell.
yeah. Cassie's very direct. Have we met?
Are you the tall one or are you the big angry one?
Probably the tall one. I'm not as angry as usually. Usually, I'm not as angry as the angry one that I'm.
Oh, you're the one that has all like the blood things.
Yeah, I'm the.
That
blood
that's
one.
not the vampire one, right?
No, not the
Okay.
vampire one.
Sorry, you'll have to say to me. I'm sorry. Is that racist?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit.
Sorry.
It's fine. I can't. I couldn't tell if we'd met before either. So I'm like, we're on the same.
Okay, so I think we
Level
met
there.
before. I'm pretty sure. I think I was at the final battle.
You were okay.
Yeah,
Great.
that was me.
Great. And I'm gonna turn back. So these guys are like Omega Core. I don't know if they really count as agents or
Definitely
just,
not an agent. I
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
I love
Hell
them
yeah.
so much. But like we run into them all the time. They tend to have like stores of items and stuff like that, and they can. I'm not gonna lie, we probably would not have made it through the final battle we had without them. Like they just wrecked a couple of like really big monsters. It was really cool. But like they, he can talk, he can think, he can read. So like
They sound like
Oh,
fun
she's so
guys.
kind, guys. I can think and I can talk. Hey, if I jump off
Okay,
your
cool.
hand, will it kill me? Is that a strong
No.
enough fall? Here, I'm gonna try it.
But,
Ready? Here I go.
No.
Eh?
But,
You
no.
Oh.
He sounds like a
Look,
fun guy.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh,
Never
no.
heard
No.
that before. Ha.
Patrick can be like, look, I will kiss you again if you cooperate.
Well, I mean, okay.
Still cooperate.
Patrick's gonna set him up on her shoulder like how she was carrying him around the last time. So like, I feel like we've kind of been given like an easy task this time around. Like they really do just kind of want this one over with so they can get to trying to make us all kill each other. Which
Well-
is still what we need to avoid. And I think it's time we probably bring Fate and Kronos in on this, because all of this is kind of moot if we can't get them on
Well-
board with what we're trying
Why
to
don't-
do.
We just attack him while we're in the arena.
Because right now he has all of the power.
Not in the arena. Khajiit
Not-
said no
not-
domain or deity powers will work
Can't
in that
cross.
arena.
We're going to be like inside like a bubble, and he's going to be outside the bubble, and his powers aren't going to be able to cross the bubble.
How do we
But-
get him inside the bubble?
We can try, but
No, he can't use magic outside the bubble either.
Just throwing this out there, I just flipped a coin and Ned is beating his head against the wall.
Too much thinking.
Understandable.
we could definitely try to get him inside the bubble. Trevor, did I understand that correctly?
Yes, so the way it works is you're correct. Yes, there is a bubble on the playing field itself, not on the entire arena, just on the playing field itself. And divinity cannot cross the bubble, whether that be divine beings or divine powers. So only non-divine entities or powers can cross the threshold of the playing field itself.
Okay,
So,
he
yes.
would be trapped
Oh,
outside.
I see.
That might actually. So he wouldn't be able
Well,
to.
we could also attack and then flee back into the
and
bubble.
he might not actually be able to attack us, but yeah,
Yeah,
could,
because
that could
I
work.
mean, we'll
At least help. If we can't get him fully depowered, he might not be able to. Yeah,
But can he burst our bubble?
I don't.
From the
Once
outside?
again, of the many things that I do not know, almost everything to do with gods is like really high up on the list.
well,
Um,
could we test it? Where's this arena at? Can we
I
get
don't-
like fate to try to destroy it or something?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Where I think we
We gotta
finally need
ask.
to just kind of bring Fate and Kronos in, and acknowledge that we're gonna need them on the team, kind of thing.
Can we ask Khajiit?
Oh, I really don't want to do that. That's way too much like me having to try to ask him a favor, and I'm still daily fighting the urge not to skin him alive. Especially 'cause I'm
I'll
pretty
try
sure he'll
asking.
live-
That could be catastrophic.
I know, but he'll live. It's gonna be real entertaining.
Here, I'll try talking to him. Maybe I can get some info.
All right, I'm
Should I
gonna.
let the others in on the
Okay,
plan?
so you guys go to him. I'm gonna go and talk to Fate, and it's just really best if I stay away from Khajiit.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
I'll go to Khajiit too.
All right, we'll do Khajiit first, and then we'll do Fate.
Alright.
So he's tuning his
Hey guys,
guitar.
I just joined
Yes.
a few minutes ago.
Yes. Welcome.
Hi, hi.
Hi. Welcome.
Hello.
Uh
Hey, I think there's a major delay on my audio.
oh.
How good are you at like a quick summary? Oh, I'm going out, aren't I? You can barely hear me.
I can hear you.
Can you give me a quick summary on what is happening?
Okay. So we had quite a few intro things. Basically, Ialea had a dream about a
My
dragonborn
fancy ring.
and learned about her fancy ring, basically that she's had this whole time in her pocket, and its name is Pact-Breaker. And it had this whole story behind it about how it helped a monk break his Eldritch Pact. Like he's also a warlock, but he was able to break his pact temporarily from his patron and kill a patron, basically. And then we did a thing with Ianthe where she talked to Eldath, her goddess, about kind of existential things, and about like why things are as they are and why she hasn't intervened and that kind of stuff. And then
And we learned that somebody has to die.
yes, that she believes that someone needs to die. Someone. And then we had a lovely tale of what's his name again? I already forgot his name. I feel bad. Tipper Springstep, where he had this lovely story and then was impaled by a axe from Mr. Ned. Which then, when he ate this poor little creature, he gained some wings, and I think that was basically it. And now they're going around and kind of figuring out what to do next. Basically, is that our thing, everybody? Did I say anything else? I don't know. Did I say anything?
The thing with Thraxian.
I mean, just people, talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's relevant to Thumper necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. But Thraxian and Giver had a conversation about kind of like about like Thraxian's like people that worship him and how they're kind of like assholes and he hates them. So and that Giver's kid will still be around even if Giver dies. So I think that's it. Yeah.
It's a nice thought, you know.
But yeah, also I will say that Ialea, that the ring in your pocket is still burning, by the way. Just a heads up for that. Anyways, over to Khajiit. So he's tuning his guitar as, was it Riptide and Maddox, correct? Going over to him? Okay.
Yeah.
And his guitar is making like weird like bubbles come out of it. What are you asking?
Do you want to ask or do you want me to ask?
Yeah, I can ask him. I'm gonna first ask him and be like, how did you like become Khajiit?
Oh, that is a tale that could take at least 125 hours. I am wonderfully happy that you asked. Take a seat.
Is there any chance you have a shorter version?
No.
That is the short version.
This is the short version. This is the abridged version, actually. The full tale, actually, will take 7 days and 7 nights.
Then we'd be catatonic.
No, that's 11.
It's 11.
All right, that's 11 days if you're human.
Oh. Yes, it's different cat years.
All
But
right.
I don't-
Maybe if there's time.
Okay. There definitely won't be, but that's okay. I will come back another time, and I will definitely at least make you listen to it all.
All right. That sounds good. So what were you talking about with the bubble thing?
Oh, he's tuning his guitar, and it's bubbling.
Oh, you're asking. Oh,
No, I'm asking about the
sorry.
magic bubble.
Sorry.
No, I don't. I mean,
You don't give a shit.
that's
That's
cool
fine.
too. But
magic bubble
you
in the
know,
arena.
yeah,
How did I bubble the arena?
yeah.
I don't need to tell you
You
that.
made this bubble.
Yeah,
Why
I
not?
did. Because, no.
What do you
No. I'm not gonna tell you how it all works. It's
No.
part of the fun.
Well, you just said
Because he doesn't
something,
know.
but then you stopped talking about it.
I did?
What you said about it was very could be misconstrued. And I'm just wondering what you meant.
Okay. It will have wards and protections around it that will prevent any divine influence and entities from entering. And I have gone through the arena and I have made sure that the devices cannot be tampered with. I'll just say that.
You know that
The
one,
devices that generate this. Hey, I have a question. Can one of the gods come inside if they, release their divinity?
I suppose so. Yes. It only blocks divine creatures and energy. So if they turn themselves mortal or immortal but non-divine, then yes, I suppose they could.
And did you create these devices?
No, I did not. I'm a bard. I absolutely did not
I mean,
create
bards
these.
can create.
We can, yes, but
Or create
not
music.
we create music,
Joy?
but not these kinds of devices. No,
Who did create them?
that would be telling, and I don't want to do that.
Or you can't.
Now look at him longingly in the eyes, like just pleading. You know, that kind of cat eyes. Tell us. You can tell us, Khajiit.
He leans forward and says, "I got them from a Screech, okay? I don't know how they work, okay? I have no idea."
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
To see if I think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
37. Okay. Come on. It's weird. It doesn't work on the website for me.
That's weird.
Okay, that's a 23.
Okay. Probably seems legit. I mean, when he says that he looks at Screech and Screech kind of rolls his eyes like, "Oh, this guy." So, and it doesn't. Khajiit doesn't strike you the kind of person that would necessarily know how to do certain kinds of warding things necessarily. Although his magic does seem chaotic and unclear as to what his boundaries and parameters are for what he can do. But this appears to be something that he couldn't do for some reason, and you get the feeling that even he's a little confused as to why that is.
Huh.
That's really fun.
Okay, so you didn't get it from what's his face?
I don't know who that is.
Guy who can do stuff. He's like a robot, but not a robot. He's a Warforged, I think, is what they call them.
Weaver? No.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's controlled of time right now.
Oh, Sindor?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That asshole? Absolutely not.
That asshole. Interesting. So you don't.
I
like
mean,
him.
well, everyone's an asshole to me because I'm the best. So,
Good save.
Thank you.
As you
But why
proceed with your
don't
own.
you like him? I never heard you say anything bad about anyone, Khajiit.
Well, you're an asshole. So, there, now you have.
Well, now you're saying it to cover yourself, but
No.
what's the story here, Khajiit?
No. I don't even want the story here.
I feel like there's a story here.
Well,
I feel like you're just trying to hide it now.
that's a wonderful opinion to have. And he pats you on the shoulder.
I mean, it's the correct opinion, but
If you say so.
all right. So you're at war with Sindor because you want the powers to control time yourself. All right, got it.
I'm already all
How do
powerful.
we
I
have
am
this
Khajiit.
talk? You're not. Yeah, but you're not all powerful. You just told me you don't understand how those shields work. That's not all powerful.
I'm all powerful, not all knowledgeable. The difference.
He's got you.
So are you saying you could walk through the shields?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go see.
No.
Why not?
I'm busy.
Okay, it doesn't sound all powerful to
So
me, but
busy.
That's fine.
I have this thing, and then the other thing I have to do. Yeah, no.
You can't even think of things to say. You
I
can't
swear to
come
God,
up
if
with
this is the way this
excuses.
conversation's gonna go, I'm gonna go to bed right now.
It's like,
I have to get up at 5 a.m. I'm not about to listen to this conversation that much longer. I'm not fucking kidding.
So it's very clear that he doesn't want to tell you, or doesn't want to show you the arena, which is not surprising because he hasn't shown any of you guys any of the other event spaces before. He just drops you in it basically. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I want to talk to the Screech.
Okay, sure. He's chilling with Cassie.
So I go over there and I say, it's come to my understanding that you provided the technical components to create this bubble in which we'll be fighting in. Is that correct?
I suppose so.
Well, let me ask you this. What would it take to expand the bubble beyond its parameters? Its current parameters?
I mean, do you have quintessence of creation available in your pockets?
I don't. Do you?
No,
Can you get it?
I can get anything, but it takes some time.
How long would it take? And what would it take for you to get that so we could enlarge the sphere?
Just a basic guess, it would take quite a long time, honestly. It's not easy things to come by.
Well, time is somewhat malleable for some people around here. If Kronos assisted you with the time you need, could
Kronos doesn't
you-
have power anymore, if you hadn't noticed.
Yes, but someone does.
So, you want me to go to
they
Sindor and
were-
ask him for help? That'll go great.
Well, we'll see about that. But if, let's say, hypothetically, if they helped you with the time you needed to acquisition what you need, would it be possible to enlarge the sphere?
It's possible, but it's also possible it might explode and create a black hole and kill everyone. So, there's that.
That's okay.
Oh,
let
that's
me ask
okay.
you this.
Yeah, it does sound nice, actually. The sweet release of death sounds wonderful, actually.
If you enlarge the dome over, let's say, gods, would their divinity be dispersed for the time?
It would just bump them back. They can't enter the sphere, so it would just push them away.
Can the sphere be turned off and then turned on around them?
Not that
And
I'm
if so,
aware
what
of.
would happen?
No, once it's on, and then you turn it off and it's broken. It works once.
It works
It's like me.
Is it magic?
Of a
That's
fashion.
funny.
So if someone had something anti-magic, would it turn it off?
I mean, it's.
And then if you move that away, would it turn it back on?
I don't know. I've never tried. I am a
Is
mushroom
this your
man.
first bubble you built?
I didn't actually even build the thing. I just acquired it.
It's not yourself, sure.
Oh,
I don't know where it came from.
how'd you get it?
I pick up a lot of random garbage in my travels. Some of it turned out to not be garbage. This is one of those things.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So anti-magic might turn it off.
Night.
And
You could
Yeah,
probably
shit.
just dispel magic it, maybe.
I
You
don't know
could
if we-
try.
I don't.
Although
heard-
I feel like Trevor's probably definitely learned his lesson by now.
From you, yes.
I don't think we want it turned off by the sounds of things. Once it goes away, it does not just it there's no on and off switch. It's like a light crap. Sorry. Now the only thing I can think of is like a glow stick where you like
Yeah.
you've snapped it open.
It's an egg. It only works once.
Yeah, it's an egg. It only works once. You crack the egg open and that's it. There's no putting
You
it
can't
back
put it
in.
back.
And all it's going to do if we try to move it or expand it is push the things away from it, kind of thing.
They have to give up their divinity.
Yeah.
That's so just get them to do that.
But by the sounds of things, we could attack him from the outside, and his powers would not be able to reach us on the inside. And the only way he would be able to come in and stop us would be to give up some measure of his divinity.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a
I've
good
just-
one.
Yeah, I'm just worried about him attacking other people on the outside to try to like lure us out, kind of thing.
It's
Which is why we need to like talk to Fate.
I mean, we also could just make it so that the Omegas win, and then
Well, yeah,
he loses his powers, and then you kill him.
We are, and that's what we're going. Well, he's not going to.
There's absolutely no way he's following through on that deal.
Yeah, I really don't trust him.
I'm sure there's some loophole in there.
Also, yeah, but I'm pretty sure even depowered, he's still going to be strong. Like, I don't think he's going to suddenly just be like a civilian on the street kind of thing where we can walk up and kick him and
Yeah.
I don't know. Wasn't Kronos?
no.
This
Out
will
of
be
goose
mighty.
form.
They'll be like
Even
demigod
as a
strength.
even as a goose, he gave us
He was stronger as a goose.
so
Don't
many-
use that.
like, so many problems.
Also, I'd point out
Probably-
that Kronos is not just currently like depowered. Like his powers have been actually removed. It's not just like his divinity is gone. It's also that his actual powers have been taken and not be given back yet. So, and they're being activated by somebody else. And also like, you haven't seen what he can do either. So, he hasn't attacked anybody yet. So you don't know what he can do.
Sounds like a
But we should. So
skeleton.
hence why we should go talk to them.
I don't have a lot of faith in someone who got stuck as a goose.
Once again,
I'm ready to fight every single god here.
Please don't.
One-on-one.
Nope.
Mm.
Absolutely
fun.
not.
1v1.
Nope. All right,
Move
Cassie's
on.
Cassie's heading over to Fate.
Okay. Yeah, Fate's just pulls out a batch of scones from the oven. I think it's how scones are made in the oven, probably. I don't know.
They are. I'm
Yeah, they are.
I wasn't sure that was the final step or not. Yes. Okay. And
The final step.
yes, for making scones. I think it's not just you just put them in the oven as a big goo, and they.
Yes,
I mean,
that is exactly
don't
how
know.
they are made.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like muffins.
Well, I will try to scone with one.
You're really digging for that inspiration
I am.
today, aren't you, Maddox?
Is that how you get inspiration? You just make bad puns?
Sometimes, yes, it actually does sometimes work. So I will say that as Fate sees you walking over, and she gives you like a look, and give me an insight check.
You guys are bad at looks.
For all of us or whoever's.
Cassie.
I guess she's alone or Cassie's alone.
Okay, that's not.
I kind of want to join, but I don't think I can.
I'm just gonna watch it
I'm
happen.
good.
We'll see in a minute here.
Looking at my burning
What-
ring.
21.
Okay.
Nice.
So Fate gives you a "don't you dare" look.
Yeah, no, Cassie's coming over.
Okay.
That's exactly what called her there.
Pulling up a seat.
Okay. And she go ahead. And she says, "Yeah, how may I help you?
Yeah, we need to talk.
Do we? I don't know
Yes.
if that's the
Nope.
the right thing that needs to happen right now. Because if we
We
do, then
are-
some bad things might happen. I don't want that to
Nope.
happen. So
No.
How do you say right thing?
Yeah, it's past the point where we can
'Cause
we
no
we
one's
we, we
doing
can
it.
speak in like metaphor and hypotheticals and whatever we need to do, but we need to talk.
okay, tell me a lovely story.
All right. So, once upon a time, a group of siblings just lost their ever-loving minds and decided to drag everything else that was ever created into their squabbles with them. And then one day, everything else got real sick and tired of it. They're not going to play exactly by the rules anymore.
Is there a moral to this story? I did not think you would play by the rules. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
these individuals, I'm sorry, would play by the
Yeah.
rules. Is
the
there?
moral of the story is everything else would like it if some of those siblings survived.
I'm sure that the siblings would like to survive very much as well. To be honest with you.
And they
Just
would
wonder
also
too.
like it those siblings took a small shot at solving their own problems for once. Because, quite honestly, it feels like the reason that we are, or they, are trapped in this never ending loop of bullshit. It's because everything else has to keep trying to solve the problem that they did not cause, they didn't ask to be involved in. So maybe it's time for everybody else.
Don't you think that in this hypothetical story that the other siblings would have done something beforehand if they were able to do so.
I genuinely don't know at this point. Wasn't in the book that I read.
It wasn't in the book.
Yeah.
So I will tell you that most of them are unable to help and unable to do anything, at least directly, which is therein lies the problem.
Yeah, that's extremely convenient.
I wouldn't say it's convenient. I would actually consider it to be very inconvenient, to be honest with you. And it would have been easier to be able to do something directly. That doesn't mean that nothing is being done, however.
I know. Everyone else is the one doing it.
If you think that, then I suppose. But
Sarah. Sarah.
Hmm?
Cassie.
Yes.
I would suggest a little role play of how fate would handle this if they were mortal.
Excellent question.
Yeah.
Pretend you're...
Suggestion?
Yeah, and Cassie's gonna turn to Fade. Pretend you're me. What would you do if you were me?
I feel that that falls under the purview of giving too much
No.
specific direction.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well,
Because I think I know what I would do if I was you.
enlighten me.
No.
No, that's fair. That's fair. From all the stories we've heard, there were methods that could be helpful in these situations. And, well, to be quite frank, you all seem to be very much under the impression that not only do you need to play by the rules, but that those rules are your only option. I'm just genuinely not sure if it's ever occurred to you to lie and attempt to manipulate the situation.
Oh,
Lie
how
act-
very
lie-
little you realize
lie
is
feel-
happening around you.
Lie feels like a strong word, honestly. But there just seem to be so many options that I don't see anybody taking advantage of.
She looks genuinely angry with you.
Maybe that's the goal.
And trying to think how she can okay. She's holding one of the scones in her hands, and like she crushes it in her hand. And she leans down real close to you and she says, "What do you think I have been fucking doing all of these thousands of years? Do you think that I wanted to do nothing? Do you think I have been doing nothing? I've been doing everything. Like, I'm sorry, but how dare you question me and think that I am not doing my part? I'm not doing anything."
I think I wasn't asked if I wanted to be a part. I think I was yanked out of my life, away from everything and everyone that I had a commitment to. And now I am here, trying to do my best.
That's all any of us can do, and I am also trying to do my best as
I
are my
Don't.
very strong limitations, unfortunately. And I wish you well, and I cannot give you what you want. As much as I wish it to be, I cannot.
Then I hope you enjoy doing this again. And Cassie's gonna get up and head back over to the rest of them.
Does Faye have any interesting bagels she'd like to share?
Keep telling you guys to stop eating those things.
I'd like to point out Ned is twitching.
He's twitching.
Well, look, sometimes things happen when you eat those bagels, and maybe someone could see something, have an ability for 24 hours. I don't
this
know.
has nothing to do with the bagels. This is just because Ned is twitching.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Maybe Faye has a really good bagel or scone they'd like to share.
Hmm.
Mm.
So I need somebody who. I'm just trying to think who would be in the vicinity. I would say, yeah, Giver. Giver, give me a perception check.
All right.
Because you're walking over to kind of tag into that conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd also like a
Something.
if possible.
24.
Okay, Giver. As Cassie walks away, you see Fate look over across the room to where Riptide and Maddox are talking to Khajiit, and she looks at Khajiit, who looks back at her, and you see her mouth out the words, "This bitch," and like gives like a side head nod towards Cassie, and he gives like a I know like expression.
You know, some respect for your saviors would be nice.
I honestly have no idea what to do. I say as I
Nothing.
walk towards Fate.
She hands you a whole pie. Giver. What do you do with
Is
the pie?
this, is this important? I don't know what's.
All of my treats are very important and are very delicious, and you should definitely eat this one. All of it. Immediately.
Okay,
Do
let me ask first. What if a baby becomes an orphan, especially one in this room, what are you going to guarantee what we agreed upon?
Did you ask everyone to sponsor this baby?
No.
You've gone to every single god and been like, hey, if I die in this, take care of the baby. Just,
I'm
I don't know,
asking.
don't die or don't worry.
Technically, I can't say.
Um,
And they're all like, the baby's gonna be fine.
I don't know if I'm going to make out of this alive. And I don't know if I can fully, without guidance, I don't know how I can potentially save anyone.
well, if you're trying to figure things out, I recommend not doing it on an empty stomach. And she makes it like a nudge towards the pie.
Eat the pie.
You know what? If this is poison, fuck it. I just smash my face into the pie.
Jesus Christ.
Oh dear.
I have to come over at that point
Whatever
just to see
whatever
him. Just,
happens,
You ever doing
happens.
Yeah. Face planning and pie.
I have lost all meaning. I don't care anymore. I am apathetic to life.
Bullshit.
My life.
Still bullshit.
So, Giver, what I will give you are you eating the pie, not just putting your face in the pie, correct?
I am eating
mouth-
it
mouth
as
open,
I
yeah.
put my face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How much do I give you is the question.
How much high you got?
Yeah.
How high did you get in that
what kind
pie?
of roll would I even do for this?
Constitution saving throw?
It's not like it's poisoned though. Give me an
Still.
Arcana check.
Natural fucking 1 plus 6.
Oh, jeez.
Dang.
Oh no. Okay.
You're high.
Yeah, you're so high. No. Okay. What I will give you is you get a split-second flash that has Fate, Eldath, Thraxian, and Symphonica all sitting around a table together and having a heated discussion. That's all you get. The natural 1, sorry.
Dang. Unfortunate.
Wait, can I have some pie, please?
Whatever's left of it, fuck it.
Okay.
Guess I'll try some.
All right, there's not much left. There's enough for like one more person. I would say you consume a lot of pie. So
You just slam it into your face. Wham!
What was the check?
Arcana.
Maybe not me.
You're probably
No.
better at it. Well, I got a +2.
For
Plus
a
3.
cleric, most of my stuff is wisdom,
I ate the pie
not intelligence.
Yeah.
while I.
I feel like part of me feels they should know.
They should
Part of
know.
me feels they should know.
I don't know what you mean.
What?
Who should
I'm
know?
saying this to Fate.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I'm so confused. Rephrase. Oh, sorry. Well, that's unwise, I will say. The darkness doesn't hold just bad things. It also hides important things that, if they were revealed, could be detrimental to, we'll just say, things in motion.
Is Symphonica really dead?
Are you asking?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder if it's just a rhetorical question. Fate. You're asking Fate, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. She puts down her oven mitts and sighs and says, to the best of my knowledge, yes, unfortunately. We have scoured the cosmos, looking for any additional signs of her, but had not found anything. And her essence was spread across the galaxy, so I believe so, yes.
How did AO respond?
Not as strongly as I would have liked, to be honest with you. There wasn't a punishment, which maybe is good because it was an accident, but something within him died that day as well, I think. And then there were all the rest of us as well. So, I guess in a single word, I would say sadness. He responded with sadness.
Did you ask him to bring her back?
We did. Yes. And he said something rather ambiguous, honestly. And
So that's where you get it from.
Yes, actually, it is where I get it from. I am.
I just weeks.
No, you're not wrong. Honestly, it is where I get it from. Yeah, I am my father's child, and we are each aspects of him, and that is one that I get from him.
And I wonder how he handles the darkness in him. If you were each aspects of him, then what happened?
Well, I do not think that the darkness was part of him as much as it was a corruption of us. I don't think that it came from him. We're not perfect beings, as you know, and we have outside influences that change us and mold us, and I think that is where the darkness has come from.
What did he ambiguously say about your sister?
Hold on. I have it written down somewhere. One second. Because I told you guys
him on
this.
his toes.
I told you guys this already.
You did?
I did. Yes, it's in one of the tablets of fate. And hold on. The phrase "my sister." Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find what she says exactly in the tablet. So according to the Tablet of Fate, it says later when we would petition Ao to bring her back, he simply told us to have faith in the path of her destiny, and that fate was offended since it sounded like something unhelpful that she would say.
So I guess, was it an accident? What if it wasn't?
I
Dun, dun, dun. The twist.
And you have like genuinely stumped fate, and she doesn't know. She's like, that would be wonderful. I think maybe it's worse.
Wait, can you say what?
Worse?
Can you say it again?
What?
What he said? Trevor, sorry, can you repeat it?
That we should have. All right, we should have faith in the path of her destiny.
Which would say that her destiny's not over.
Destiny's
Yes,
to die.
that is why I personally have faith that she will come back at some point. I don't know how or why or when, but I believe so. I don't have any specific reason to believe so other than I just believe. And that's enough.
Your hope strikes a chord.
Yes.
So I'd like to bite Maddox and then eat this pie.
All right.
Maybe she can't come back until your bonds have been restored.
I don't know.
Maybe you should try harder to get along. Just kidding. I know it's really just one of you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're all trying. The rest of us are trying pretty hard here, other than one person. I think we're putting in the work here. All right, like.
Yeah, but it's a little disappointing when someone who is above you does nothing. I'm just kidding.
Kidding, not kidding.
Just vague.
You're not
kidding, not kidding.
You're not the first person to be mad at God.
I know that you're doing things. I know things are happening. Gears are moving. However, it is frustrating to be the pinpoint. Regardless if it's happened before and will happen again. On an individual level, it is difficult.
This is difficult. I never said this was going to be an easy thing for you all to do. And it isn't easy for any of us. All you see of us is these last few, I don't know if I should call it months because time works differently, but you have been here a very short amount of time, especially in the span of the universe. You have not seen all that I have seen, and your perspective is very limited for what I have done I will say.
I understand. However, my individual experience is all I can know.
I know. And I would tell more if I could. But
I understand.
yes.
I'm
So
gonna take some lemonade to tax a rim.
all right.
I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna sit down, give him some lemonade, and just stare intently at the rest of them.
Okay. Awesome. Like, oh, good. A sulking buddy. Excellent. So Riptide.
Contemplation.
Yes. Riptide, you have bitten Maddox and
Yeah.
shoved your face into a
Then I
pie.
go eat this pie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Oh, I figured someone
a
with
nice-
better Arcana should. I can roll if you want me to. If no one has a better score.
I have a plus.
Oh, I have a lot better score.
I
than
have a
Maddox.
+6.
Well,
He-
then someone else take a bite. You
I
have a
know my score.
+6 and you rolled a 1.
He got a natural 1.
Yeah, you got a natural one.
Yeah. Otherwise, we did it on fine.
Hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna roll the attack on Maddox, and
Okay.
then we'll see what the bonus I get.
Is Maddox just willing?
Yeah, I'm willing. So
Okay.
it's a
A
it's critical
Folisterian
hit.
moment. Got it. Okay.
Once I hear the bite, I just kind of look over and see, and like, oh, interesting.
like
They're
this-
doing it
this
again.
happens. Yeah, I feel like this happens
Doing it
every now and
again.
again.
Like, are they a
It's,
couple?
like, not that weird.
We're like an old
Uh,
married couple.
Old married vampire couple.
Okay, so I got 13 damage, which means I have a
Jeez.
plus 13 to the check.
Look at you.
So I'll eat this pie.
Okay.
Came over, slammed his face into the table,
Just like,
and then took the
bam!
rest of the pie from him.
So it's Arcana.
So, yeah. Okay. So also gonna punch Maddox because that would have helped me, but I felt like
You're
that
just
was like, rude.
That
You're just
seems-
gonna be
On top of the bite.
Yeah, it's a little insult to
Also, I
injury.
did ask Maddox.
You're just
before
gonna beat
I
up
bit him,
Maddox. So there's
but-
like what, a bite and then a punch.
All right, here we go. That work? Okay, so that's a 16 plus 13. That's a 29.
Okay. I don't know how much to give you even with the 29. Like that's.
It doesn't mean that you get. It just means that you get the best you can get.
You get the best you can get, yeah. So you get the what Giver got basically initially here, which was the flash of 5 of the 6. Actually, Cronus was in the scene before. Sorry, I forgot to mention. It's 5 of the 6 basically.
Oh.
Everybody except Tannerus basically in the room
And
together.
this is before Symphonica died.
Yes. So this is a long time ago. You can tell.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's several ages ago. When Symphonica was
relative.
around still. And they
Related.
they are sitting around a table and having an argument about Tannerus in particular, and it's not 100% clear what specifically he did, but he did something really, really bad, and it was specifically against fate. And like she's mostly just sitting at like quietly at the table, kind of like staring off into space as the rest of them kind of argue and kind of stand up and like heatedly argue over her.
This is dark. Is she pregnant?
Bro, what the?
Was not prepared to hear that.
I wasn't either, but no.
Are they capable of reproduction?
I don't want to have to
Let's not
answer.
open
I don't want to
Let's
think
not
about that or
open
no.
up.
Honestly, I don't
Tell us the
Okay.
story.
Sorry.
don't
Let us
don't
know.
ask that of me. I don't want to know. And the conversation is basically that this keeps happening. He won't leave her alone, and he won't stop, and they have to do something about it. And they keep arguing about like what specifically. Like they're like, oh, we'll go to AO and we'll like give him all the stuff, and they're like, but some people are like, well, that might not work, and like if he finds out, like he'd be really mad at us, and then he'll probably also try and like, come after us.
She's hiding from him.
Yeah, she's, yeah.
No, I just mean right now.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Oh, in real time? I mean,
Yes.
yeah. And like they are having a discussion about the severity of what should happen to him, and like if he can, be like imprisoned, or if they can banish him, or because they keep trying to make him see reason, and it's not happening. And they all are like kind of leaping to her defense in like different levels of it, and eventually though she, like, her eyes kind of come back into focus, and she kind of just looks at everybody around her, and she stands up, and everybody kind of quiets down, and then she says, "I'll do it," and the memory stops.
Bob.
So I just like stare off into space for a while, with blood still like on my face and pie. Like that's so Raven look.
Oh no.
Nice.
Yeah. And blood off my face.
So that's all I got for that.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
fate in like a completely different way.
Oh.
I'm gonna ask Fate and be like, how do people make pacts with you?
It doesn't happen very often. I'll be honest with you. I don't generally get into the business of packs, but I do recruit people. As many of the people in this room know, I recruit people, but not always to the severity of becoming an actual agent. Oftentimes, I will offer them something in exchange for something else that will help facilitate let's just say a more pleasant angle towards the fate of the universe, or sometimes even it's just the fate of someone in particular. And usually I come to them. It's very infrequent they will come to me to do so. I mean, they will petition me, but I do not respond most of the time because I see the bigger picture, and they usually don't understand fully what they're asking.
Let's see.
Okay. So, trying to think how to. So, Ialea, you've been quiet.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I was letting others talk, and also I'm just thoroughly examining this ring that it's burning hot to touch, and even though wildfire druid, I'm not immune to fire, or at least resist to it, which is so weird,
So,
what a weird thing.
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Hold on, I'll just do it on my phone because the website's being weird. That's a 15.
Okay. So, with a 15, you can tell that this ring isn't. I don't think it's not magical in the traditional sense. Because most magic rings are pretty standard kinds of magic that are used to infuse an object. That a wizard or an artificer does it. This is not that kind of magic. This is pure ki energy, which explains why you didn't see it as magical before, because it doesn't resonate with you because you are not trained in ki. So like it
You
does.
What about a
buffoon.
thumper?
What?
Sorry, what? Who talked?
Ayante, what?
Oh, you said. Sorry, I thought I muted myself.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And I
Okay,
said you, but no, I said you buffoon because
Yeah.
you're like you didn't train in key energy,
Oh.
and I'm like you idiot, you moron,
yeah. Well,
failure.
because you're a druid and druids don't train in ki. Because ki is soul energy, which is what monks train in, basically.
Yeah.
So this appears to be I mean, as you saw from your vision, or dream, whatever you want to call it, it's for
Not
a
monkey,
monk.
sorry, monk
Yes.
business.
Yes, it's monk
It's
business.
for a monkey.
Yes. So you can't seem to activate it or tap into its power at all.
Hey, I'm gonna go to the monk that I know here.
So Riptide?
Actually, yeah, isn't Riptide also a monk?
Yeah.
But it's also monk.
Yeah, I'm a
Yes.
monk.
Yes.
Yes, I'm asked Riptide about it.
Okay.
And also, I guess we'll get. I also asked Thumper to be like, "Hey, yeah, you gonna come take a look at this thing that I have? That Actually,
Sure.
you don't know. I don't know.
Why are you asking me?
I had a dream. Is that weird to say? I had a dream, and then I tell them what happened in this
About
goddamn
me?
dream.
Oh, okay. No. Got it. Wow. That's a pretty crazy dream.
Yeah, I didn't expect it too. I thought it was just, an heirloom of like my mentor saying that like, hey, I like you like family too, because she said it was supposed to be given to her daughter, but I guess not. Ooh.
Yeah, I can try to channel key into it. Sure. I'll hold the ring and try to.
Does Thumper know anything about the Dragonborn that basically founded their? I'm not sure what the different path. The path.
Yeah.
They follow.
I don't know. Thumper, give me a history check if you're still here.
Could I also attempt a history to see if my
Sure.
people know anything about this guy?
Sure. You both can.
Okay. I will not bite Maddox this time.
If you need to, whatever.
I'm here, but it's going to take a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
I got a 4, so I don't think we have.
Okay.
would
Yeah,
make
it doesn't.
sense.
It doesn't
It's
sound
very different. Yeah.
like. I mean, you vaguely heard. I mean, you barely even know about the fighting style. Honestly, it's not something you were ever trained in, and it was one of those things that like you had to. I wouldn't say pick necessarily, but like the monk school you went to didn't participate in this style.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Speaking of which, what is your style?
Right.
Way the shadow.
At the shadow. Okay.
Ninja monk.
Ninja monk.
Yeah. Ninja monk, yeah. Exactly. I think the name of my style is actually like that name that you gave it.
Hey, Trevor, I rolled a 9.
Roll a 9? Okay. That's okay. I would say that you have heard of the Dragonborn, Kanan, that founded your fighting style. Yes, Jackie Chan. Yeah. And but mostly because there was a statue of him at the place that you trained. So you don't know a lot about him, but you know of him basically, and that he is the one who created your drunken master fighting style. And you also know that your ki and your school works different than everybody else's as well, because it's alcohol infused. Like,
do you need to drink to be able to use this? If you want to.
So when Riptide picks up the ring and tries to put ki into it, it feels like it resists and doesn't accept your ki. And so it also shines bright, which kind of like with your shadow style, it doesn't seem to mix, basically.
Yeah.
So, Thumper, do you want to mess around with the ring?
Please don't break it. But
No, I'm sorry. I'm out of the zone tonight, Trevor.
It's okay.
Got some personal stuff going on. I think I'm gonna actually bow out of
Okay,
this.
dokie.
I'll message you later.
All right, no problem.
no worries.
All right. Take care.
Stay safe.
Yeah. All good. We can come back to the ring another time. But I'll say that it does seem to resonate with Thumper for sure.
Hey, aren't we outside the time loops? Why don't we just go find this Canaan guy and ask him about it?
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, that's not exactly how. Like, this isn't an afterlife.
Well, could we research and
Isn't
elaborate
it?
at this Canaan
No.
person?
Literally
No.
outside the time loop.
It's out of timeline, but it's not an afterlife.
Right, so we should just be able to time travel.
No. I really, really do not think that's how that worked.
We have met lots of people that exist at different times.
Like Napoleon and Genghis Khan
Yeah.
and Bill and Ted.
Sasquatch.
Bill
We
and
met
Ted?
the Queen.
Nope. No. Who has the record?
Record of Ragnarok? What?
No, the
Symphonica's
the
record?
Yeah, Symphonica's record. Who has that?
Fate has it currently. Thraxian brought it as a gift to Fate, and she has it currently. It's sitting on like the mantle, basically.
Perfect. And I can't remember if we had like the player thing that they need to activate it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Where is that? Like the player for the record, not the record itself.
It's in one of the corners. It's actually near Thraxian, honestly. It's off in like that back corner. There's a music player back there.
How big is it?
The disc?
The player.
The player?
The thing that would, yeah.
It's carryable. Not like easily carryable. It's like a small jukebox.
Okay. But like a couple of us could probably manage it.
Yeah, I mean you're a big girl. You can carry it like by yourself if you wanted to. It's hefty, but yeah, you could probably do it. You're right.
All right.
Jukebox,
Yeah, we could use our imaginations.
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
good.
I thought I had one as well, so I figured I'd look. But yeah.
So without
Where's the
trying to
resonator thing?
that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, is that the record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a record
Oh, okay.
basically. Yeah, it's a record.
Yeah.
So the thing that had her soul for a while, or like
Well,
deity powers.
I'm thinking we may kind of like what I did with the terrarium. Maybe we should have that dashed near where we're going to be playing our last game.
Last song.
Yeah. And if we could just kind of maybe, I don't know, stick that under the bleachers.
So if you recall, it has to be voluntary to be used.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you never know. Having it nearby just in case couldn't hurt.
Okay, so maybe I
Like, we
missed
don't-
something in one of my when I was gone one time. What does this thing do that has to be voluntarily done? Is something that plays the record?
One of the gods can kind of voluntarily transfer their divinity onto that record. That's what Symphonica did when they all went out and played at being mortal.
Summon it with the four.
So this is
Yep.
this is what we need the Tanimers to do if we want them to enter into the dome.
Right. And that's what I, so
You can also give it to a person.
He can, but they need to be prepared first by what I...
Yeah.
Like they,
Yeah.
it can't.
It takes a
that
long
can't
time to
ju-
prepare somebody to be a
Yeah,
steward.
like he can't just grab the nearest mortal and be like, "You're a god now." Um, it's not like becoming a wizard or something.
Harsh to get wizards.
You know. But having that nearby, just in case we are able to goad him, might be helpful, especially because it's not permanent. And if we can, say, get in on that record and then maybe smash that record, by the sounds of things, that might have some permanent
The
consequences.
sounds of things.
I hate puns so much. But yeah, I'm thinking like tonight maybe a couple of us drag that thing out to the stadium kind of thing. Also, I'm going to have to think of a way to apologize to Fate later. That was not how I wanted that conversation to go, but I am so sick of this nonsense. Anyway, somebody just needs to keep reminding me that it's not directly her fault. Just
Not directly your fault.
because it's so easy to. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. I need to find like a good, genuine target for the frustration.
Jeet?
You guys keep saying that I'm not allowed to hurt him. Can I go skin him? I think I will feel better after doing that.
Oh dear.
Okay. Going to try to focus in on things that are actually helpful. All right. So we cannot outright Fate and Cronus 2.
Back real quick.
Okay. We cannot outright ask them to like goad him, because apparently that is breaking the rules. And we're just going to have to hope that it has occurred to them that that would be helpful.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't go with them. Goad him.
I'm gonna
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
trust me.
yes.
Cassie will be being her absolute most annoying.
I mean, how do we go to God? I mean, like, if I,
I mean-
rebel against him, if I like go like, hey,
I'm
you want
pretty
me
sure
to
at
fight
this
this?
point, if we
Come
put
make me.
Ianthe in front of him, I think that alone might do it. Yeah.
Can I write down 2 notes, and then I want to go up to Cassie and Maddox and be like, "Don't open this note, no matter what, until the time comes."
I was about to say that just makes me want to open it.
Yeah.
That's why you weren't given a
That's why
note.
I don't give it to Ianthe. That's why I give it to Cassie
Yeah.
and Maddox.
Can I get a hint as to when the time will be?
No, but you'll know.
Oh man.
It won't
Insight
be.
check?
Until later.
Like Cassie's looking for
If I
some-
say more, it won't work.
I know, but Cassie's military. She deals with direct orders. All right, Cassie will. Can I give it to like Rofson to hold? My bird.
Sure.
I'm asking
Don't read
Trevor.
it.
Just,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh.
yeah. That way, like,
Tied on his little ankle. Sure.
yeah.
All
And
good.
because Cassie, this is the kind of thing Cassie would trust him with. Like, bring that to me when I need it. She kind of
Yeah.
trusts his
Yeah, sure.
instincts better than hers in that moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So she's gonna.
It'll be your MacGuffin bird.
Yeah.
A MacGuffin book?
Yes.
And then I like to summon shadows and disappear.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ. So dramatic.
You know. You would do it.
Phyrexian nods approvingly.
Oh, yes. And yes, I will goad the ever-living rat
So.
after Mr. Toxic Masculinity.
Yeah.
Uh,
So currently, I believe that is the plan. We play the last game. We'll do what we can to very convincingly get the Screech in the goal that should theoretically depower the god we want to fight. We all attempt to stay in the bubble, which should offer us at least some protection. That's really all I got. I've never fought a god before.
So, I'll also remind you that the horsemen will be unable to fight Tanabris as they are pacted to him. And if they lose, they also may not be here after that happens.
So we need to break the pact with that ring. That ring, we need to break the pact. Unfortunately, we need Thumper to do that, and she's not here.
Yeah, I might have to change something with that. So I would say, sorry, I'm reading a message real quick. So what I'll say is that I'm going to say that Riptide can utilize the ring. It'll just be more difficult. Okay? We have a backup person. So either monk can is able to use it.
It's a little retcon there.
If I could use the ring, then I probably wouldn't have done what I just did.
Oh, did you? Okay. Hold on. Oh, okay, hold on. If you have a plan, then
this
I can...
is like my final plan, but if the ring works, then my plan doesn't, well, maybe it still could work.
It's always good to have a plan B.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to pull him aside real quick, and we're going to have to figure... I want to see what his plan is, and we're going to talk this out real quick, and then...
Yeah, talk it out. Talk it out.
Yeah, you guys talk it out.
All right, so, Riptide, we're going to follow you now. Cassie, you watch Riptide sink into the shadows and disappear after he hands you a note. And now we're going to go and follow Riptide. So Riptide appears out of the shadows on one of the other islands nearby, specifically on the one that you saw Tanabris go to previously. So, Riptide, what are you doing?
I'm going to approach Tanabris, unless I can do the second part of that plan, too. Do I need...
You describe what you approach him, and he turns towards you, and he kind of cocks his eyebrow and says, well, I was waiting for one of you to make your way this way.
I forgot he was in the room.
I can't. Yes. Well, he's not in the room. He's on a different island. He's across the way. He's nearby. He's nearby, but not like in the room. And he says, I can't say I'm terribly surprised. It was you of all of them to approach me, although I am curious as to what it is you bring to me.
Well, I had some thoughts, but I wanted to hear kind of your thoughts on the whole situation, since this has been done many times before in the past.
Not by me, but yes, other deities have done this before in the past, and it's always a bit of a shit show, to be honest with you, but always a glorious one. And I've witnessed several of them, and it's been quite glorious, to be honest with you. And I think I've agreed with most of the rulings over the years, overall. Things tend to work themselves out in the favor of the just.
I see. And gods can't kill each other while you have divinity, right?
Correct. As per the edicts of the gods, we are no longer able to hurt each other, which is both a blessing and a curse. Sometimes it would be nice to be able to.
But if you gave up your divinity, even for a short while, would you be able to hurt someone else who gave up their divinity?
I suppose so.
And do you want a way to get Kronos out of the picture forever?
My brother. I mean, would be nice. I can't say it hasn't crossed my mind more than once, and I also can't say I haven't tried to several times now. He's rather pesky to get rid of, to be honest with you.
And why is that?
Well, his powers of time make it difficult to pin him down, and his association with fate, bless her heart, she has a soft spot for him, and that can be problematic, at least.
And what if I had a way for you to fight him with their fate and no one else could interfere?
I'd say I'm listening.
Well, as you have probably heard, there's this scree competition coming up that Khajiit has manufactured. And there's this bubble in that no divine powers and no divine beings can be inside. And so if you give away your divinity, say to the record, to hold on to it, you'll be able to go in there, and he'll be able to go in there, but fate and no one else will. The only ones who could stop you would be a few of the Omegas. But I've already dealt with one, and then I'll pull out Nomad's dead body from my bag.
Interesting. You've already taken it upon yourself to begin thinning the herd, I see.
Yeah. And it was only 4v4 for the rules. So
interesting. I suppose
they don't really need Nomad. He would only be able to stop you, but now he can't.
That is true.
And I'll put him back inside my bag.
Okay. Give me a persuasion roll.
Okay.
Are you streaming again, Trevor?
Oh, no. Sorry.
I mean, yeah,
There's nothing really yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I was like, maybe you had moved the Tailspire room to a different island.
Okay. Could I do a performance instead of persuasion?
Sure. I'll allow it.
Okay. All right. Balls. It's a 13 overall.
13 overall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Actually, wait. Do I have inspiration? I think I do.
I don't know.
My laptop thing.
I feel like most of you have inspiration you haven't used.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna use it.
How does one use? No, just kidding.
Okay.
So I'll re-roll.
Okay.
Okay, that's 19.
Okay. He looks suspicious and a bit curious, and he says,
"Why are you surprised at this? I already killed one of their other members.
No,
Pathfinder.
That part isn't necessarily what has me on edge necessarily. Why did you come here? What is in this? What's in this for you? There's always an angle.
I assume you're going to give me powers of some sort.
But you haven't asked.
No, not yet. I like to see someone's open to my deal first. There's no reason to show my hand and tell you exactly what I want.
Okay.
Especially if you're not interested.
I'm interested, but wary. I don't trust, well, almost anyone, to be honest with you. I especially don't trust those blasted Omegacore agents at all. And I would worry that they may have put someone up to something.
Do you think they put someone up to something?
Yes.
That Khajiit?
No, you.
No.
How do I know that you aren't working with them secretly. I know you have killed 2 of them now.
I mean, I
But
feel
even
like that's
so-
enough. I can't kill another one. Otherwise, then it'll ruin the whole Nexus game or trial, whatever you want to call this.
Source, trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro.
Exactly.
Interesting. Well, what do you know of their plans? You've been with them for quite some time, been around them. What do you know of what they are planning?
The power of
know-
friendship compels you. I'm sorry.
I know they plan to win
Of course.
no matter what. And I know that the other gods will interfere in some way. However, many of them have had their memories tampered with and thus cannot share any sort of information.
Interesting. I mean, I can't say I'm terribly surprised. I expected something uncouth from their side at some point. I just wasn't sure what it would be exactly.
Hmm.
Do you have any inclination as to what they are planning as the twist?
Is the twist? I think they are planning to somehow
You do know that like Cassie and Fate just had a very public fight.
they're planning to do something to you, I think, but I don't know the specifics exactly.
Do something to me? So, if they plan to do something to me, then would it not be unwise for me to lose my divinity?
Well, you could get rid of Kronos,
Yes. Yes, that is
and I
true.
could give your divinity back easily.
Yes. Well,
It would be within reach. You just have to give it up willingly and get in there. I mean,
I do have my horsemen on my side. It would be
exactly. And they can't say no.
4 of you and 4 of them versus me, and then versus Kronos.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say it's an even
Probably
fight, but it is in our favor, which is good.
I think it's highly, in our favor over theirs.
I will consider it. It definitely sounds appetizing.
All right. Well, I guess if you decide this is something you want to do, then let me know. And then I'll tell you what I want.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. And he turns away.
Yeah. I'll leave.
Okay.
You should have been like, they literally plan on winning through the power of friendship.
I
Like,
really wanted to
everyone
say
was
that.
talking, you should have been like, everyone was talking to their gods, and that cleric is super bossy, and I think they're literally planning to win by the power of friendship.
Honestly, few things probably would have pissed him off more.
Yeah. Should be like, what's their twist? Their twist? They think they can win because they love each other. Like, you should have been like, the truth, just not all of the truth.
So I will say that he's going to make his way into the restaurant now.
Okay.
He's going to suss out kind of the situation, kind of get a vibe check on everything, and so he's gonna come into the restaurant. I'm gonna pull him in.
Well, he's definitely getting uranium vibes from my Iante.
Uranium?
you know,
Yeah, you
okay,
know.
so
What?
you know, there's this whole thing. People make fun of girls for liking crystals, but I like to joke that rocks really do have vibes. It's just that the vibe is death.
Vibe of death.
You know,
Exactly.
radiation.
Okay.
Like that's the vibe
Oh,
that
okay.
some rocks give off, and so my joke is always like, you know, radiation vibes.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool, calm, and collected, just drinking lemonade. You know, just looking like maybe somebody farted or something. Kind of
Somebody
stinks now.
farted or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he comes into the room, which is kind of a buzzkill in general for everybody, honestly. And
Somebody boozed.
somebody farted, yeah. And he takes in the room and kind of where everybody's at, and we're like the fact that like there's like some mingling happening between the two groups, and also like Ianthe's over there sitting next to Thraxian, which is interesting. And he gives a nice warm smile to Fate, and he walks by and heads over to Thraxian, and he says, I didn't realize you had come, brother, although that's not terribly it happens quite often, to be honest. You appear and disappear quiet as a mouse, or a shadow, I should say. And Thraxian just stares at him, basically. and
Hell.
Tanibus is like, always a great conversationalist, as always, Thraxian. I guess I didn't know what to expect, but this checks out. So I hope you will enjoy the game tomorrow, as you watch me and my team win the game. And Thraxian just takes a sip of like his drink, like a nice long sip, puts it down and says, "We'll see, brother. We'll see." And yes,
is that fire that's surrounding him?
Tanibus?
Yeah, or is it more like
Yes.
feathers?
No, it's fire.
Okay.
Those are flaming swords that are circling
Oh,
around
okay,
him.
okay,
Yes, those are firing
He
swords.
made a fire.
Yeah, he made a fire.
Remember?
He's a flaming boy.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping there'd be. Oh,
He what?
so I'm trying to think. I want to try to use grim psychometry on him, but I need something of his.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if just like a cup he's a god. He would leave a pretty strong aura, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
If I could even get a hold of like a cup that he's touched, would that work?
Yeah, I mean, I will say that if he walked in and he smiled at Fate, he would have probably gone past her and like picked up like something to eat, and then he probably puts it down on the table and as he's talking, and he might forget about it. Yeah,
I'm gonna wait
yeah.
to see if he just leaves something sitting around.
Okay. Sure. I also say that like his feet leave like imprints in the ground. I don't know if that's helpful, but I would do that.
Kind of.
Probably would work, I think.
I can use it on like my current location as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's probably fine then.
Okay.
What are you trying to do here exactly?
So it allows me to make a history check to recall information about sinister or tragic events in something's history.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Specifically sinister or tragic.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
I need to know what was the key event. What was it that broke this individual?
Oh, that made him go batshit crazy?
Yeah.
His birth.
Is he just like this, or was there something that got him so focused on fate?
Okay. That's a history check, correct? You have to make? Or does it just happen?
Yeah. No, it's basically it'll give me advantage on a history check.
Okay, give me a check.
Okay. Oh, well, we're not using that one. 19.
Okay. Okay. So, how do you deduce these things exactly?
So, I think, like, I kind of want to wait until he's really not paying attention to me.
Okay.
Because I think I'm going to use, like, my blood magic for this, or things that are kind of tied to my blood.
Okay.
And I want to kind of almost make, like, a little mini mutagen out of it, where I, like, assuming his feet are leaving, like, ashen footprints there,
Mm-hmm.
scoop some of that up,
Okay.
get a couple drops of my blood going, a couple of my other things, and down that and see what happens.
Okay.
First.
So your eyes roll back in your head, and you see a vision, and it's of Fate being very excited because she is now able to do something new, something she's never done before. And she believes that this will change everything for her and for her siblings. And what that is that she's able to see the fate of the six. Something that, if you recall, she can't do. Which is why she mentioned before that she didn't see Symphonica and her fate. But her and she brings it first, the news to Tanabris first. And they appear to be quite close and, like, pretty amicable, honestly. They seem like good siblings or good friends.
Good buddies.
Good buddies, yeah. You don't see that kind of dark aura about him that you kind of get now. This seems to be like pre-breakage of Tanabris's mind and soul. And she tells him that she can see their future. And he's amazed and very proud of her and very encouraging. And he asked for a demonstration, you know? And she does it, and she reads their future. And she sees a future where the two of them are together. And she kind of recoils at that and clearly it is not pleased with that and says, I don't want that. What? That can't be true. And Tanabris is like, well, you see the future, you see fate, so it must be true. So this will happen, it'll come to be. And they get into his big fight about basically, like, now it's in his head that he believes that they will be together, and he now is obsessed with making sure that happens, because of something that he does want, and he didn't think of it before really, but now it's stuck in his mind, and it's something that she now actively works against all the time. And that's also the last time that she ever read any of the fates of any of the six.
Wow, Fate, will you be the source of drama?
Cassie hasn't told anybody that yet, so
No. Yeah.
she's gonna sit on that for a second while she regains it. I'm assuming everyone. She was probably as subtle as she could be about mixing that up, but when the eyes rolled back, she probably became pretty noticeable that something was happening to her.
Teaser.
It's a pretty busy room, but other people around you would have noticed. Not Tanabris, because his back's to you right now, because he's off into Thraxian. But yes, I would think that probably several of you, of your teammates, would have noticed. And yeah. Granted, you do some weird shit, so like it's
Yeah.
not that uncommon.
First,
But
yeah, probably not
yeah.
the first time that somebody's seen her tinkering with something, and it's just like, oh, that was a bad batch. Bad batch.
Yeah.
And she tries to kind of shake it off, but yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Good to know. Good to know.
Anything else from anybody? We do have Tanibus in the room if anybody wants to talk to him or throw potatoes at his head or something.
The best way to handle people like this is to completely ignore their existence. Therefore, that is what Ianthe is doing. They thrive off the response they get.
That's right, because that's right. You're at the table with Thraxian. I forgot. Okay, so yeah.
She completely didn't see anyone walk up. Nothing happened.
Cassie is
he notices you next to Thraxian, and I was like, oh, it's you again.
Take a sip.
He like tries to like lean into like your vision, like you're like not looking at him. He's like, hello. Alrighty then. Well, good talking to you, I guess. Wow, Thraxian, your friends are just as insufferable as you are, honestly. And he just kind of shrugs, and kind of like out of the corner of your eye, you can kind of see him giving you like a very small nod, like good job.
Listen, Ianthe had a reset with Eldath, and she's like, I'm better than you. And I was reminded of that, so now I'm gonna act the way that I should. Unless I absolutely need to throw down, in which case I will kick your
ass. And you can see that like Tanibus is getting a little bit annoyed at your lack of respect, and that he's clearly used to people like not just like fawning over him, but at least bare minimum noticing him and making a big deal about it usually. And he kind of crosses his arms and he kind of scowls at you, and he's like, "What? This is really? You're nothing? Like okay. I expected, well, very little of you, to be honest, but not this little. This seems rather childish and petty, to be honest with you."
Cassie's gonna start just kind of wandering past. Be like, we actually cast a spell on her, so she can't see you anymore.
Ianthe just sighs deeply, like she's bored, and puts her hand on the table and her head on her hand to, just keep watching the rest of the room, but just very much the air of, when will something happen? I'm bored.
It was the only thing we could think of in the moment. She can't see you. She actually can't.
Cassie, are you talking to your bird again?
Yes.
He like openly laughs, and kind of just like shakes his head like, whatever. Mortals are very strange. Okay, fine. I go over to my people then, I suppose.
If he turns around, I want to be right there to be looking in his face.
Oh, okay. Well, he's much taller than you are, but yes. Yes. He had his belly button. He didn't have one of those. That.
Because he.
Oh. Hello there. One of my horsemen. I hope that you are ready for the big fight tomorrow. Ready to, I don't know, maybe take out some of these rather annoying individuals. And he like thumbs over his shoulder at Ianthe. Some of them are rather disrespectful and really use a lesson or just a good stabbing.
Staring straight through. Looks over at, Tilaxian like, man.
I'm gonna go sit in front of her and beg for treats.
Well, with all due respect, I'd be more ready if you gave me a boon or a blessing that was more worthy of my talents.
Oh, the
Damn.
one you have isn't currently worthy of your talents, you say?
It's completely out of line with what I do and who I am. Yeah, I know it reflects you, but it's not very reflective of the one you've tapped to be one of your champions.
Well, maybe you should align yourself to be more in line with your god.
Well, if I needed to do that, I'd be more like AO and less like you.
Damn.
But I am like AO.
You are made by AO, but you are not like AO.
I am made in his image.
You are made by his image, not in his image.
Jesus.
Aren't they doing like the
Someone's about to get
damn in the
murdered.
background?
Well,
Ross
he's
is
not
just doing
facing her,
something
so Beyonce is just like thumbs up, like you can do it.
Ross is trying to be like very cute so that if he turns around, he could reasonably be the bird she's talking about.
Oh yeah, no. It's like I don't think it could be just like looking at Cassie, but just like
Yeah.
you get him.
If you want me to champion you, give me a weapon that can kill a god.
Damn.
Why would you need to kill a god?
That's literally why we're here.
That's what I'm here to do.
You're not here to kill a god. You're here to kill some mortals and win.
The only way we win is if we kill the mortals and their god. And you need to keep your hands clean, don't you?
Definitely not.
Then you don't need me.
But you already packed it to me, so you have to, regardless. Plus, it's fun to watch.
Well, we'll see. You can either help me or watch me.
We'll see. Some rather interesting propositions today from the horsemen.
Well,
have to-
we are interesting characters.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, we will see what happens again tomorrow on the field. I look forward to it.
How about this? How about we arm wrestle for it?
You want to arm wrestle a god?
Yeah, I mean, I want to make it fair. Empty your divinity and let's go toe to toe. Just arm wrestle for it. If I win, you give me a better boon, and if I lose, then I'll deal with what you've given me, as nominal as this boon may be.
You do realize that I can just walk away right now, right? I don't need to strike a bargain with you at all. And that you would be left still with what I've already given you if I'd simply leave.
That would be boring.
As the good book says,
Cassie
AO
is
hates
gonna
a coward.
sit on something.
Maddox?
As the good book says, AO hates a coward.
I'm sorry. There's a book that says that.
I don't think it's cowardly. I think
Cowardice.
it's simply beneath me. And there's a difference.
Well, pride does make a good cover for fear.
Damn. That was out of character.
Yeah.
My character is being quiet. I'm just genuinely like, okay.
Though I will say in the corner, Khajiit does that thing from Puss in Boots that the cat goes, oh!
Like this would be a good snippet to put on short form, just like this, like
It's exchange.
like the little, like not the full conversation, just a couple of the
But how's this?
Hi guys, I just want to let you know I'm here.
Hi, Pop.
Shh.
Hello.
You're
Hello.
dead. Shh.
Am I?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll talk
Yeah.
later.
Oh, dear.
It's fine.
It's like, okay.
you can observe in spirit form.
Yeah, your yes, your body was your dead body was shown to Tanabris. So
Okay.
He is a wonderlad, you know.
Could I also bring some flaming food to
You can blame your
Tannerus?
daughter and her birth.
Oh, right.
So Tenebris, I was gonna say that, I forgot what our flow was now. Dang it, Pop.
Well, I told
It
you
worked,
trying
it
to
worked.
cover a camouflage for your fear.
Oh, yeah.
Going head to head with me on the. Yeah.
And yeah, okay. He just picks you up and throws you across the room and then walks out.
Holy fuck. Yo. Rush over. See, you're fucking hurt. I doubt you're hurt, but you know.
And I just yell as I'm flying through the air. Cowardice confirmed.
Dang.
All right, everybody. So you guys have sort of a plan.
Sorta.
Sort of a plan.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Ter-
Yeah, go ahead.
we have like you know, a percentage of a plan.
Yeah.
0 is still a percent.
So I will give you guys just a little bit longer. I'll give you like 10 more minutes here. If you guys want to do anything else that will help facilitate specifically just the plan in order to make it happen. According to...
So huddle.
Yeah, huddle. Everybody huddle.
Yeah.
Tannerus is gone. He can come back if you want him to, but...
Oh, so the plan wasn't to arm wrestle him?
No.
Oh, okay.
So to recap
I
the
just
plan...
didn't know how much I missed.
No.
I thought just go for it. You know.
That's the new plan.
So, to recap, what the plan was according to you guys' post in Discord was basically to do the event and then make sure that Tenebris loses his divinity and then joins in on the event, basically. And the divinity loss can come through. It has to be voluntary, and he has to give it to basically the record. And you also have in your possession a pact breaker ring, which can be used to sever contracts temporarily, as long as it's activated. And what I will also tell you, because Ilea, because you're the one that did the Arcana on it, is that it'll last 1 minute. That's it. So.
And only for one person?
No, it's a bubble. Whoever's in the bubble when you activate it, basically, it'll work on.
How big's the bubble?
It's enough to hold all of the horsemen. I'll say that.
Do we have to stay within a certain distance of each other?
No.
Or
no.
Once
it hits you,
then
and that's
move
it.
Where we want to. Okay.
Yes.
But that means that we're going to want to pop that. If we can get it to activate, we're going to want to do it as we're entering combat time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as it stands right now, Riptide has propositioned Tenebris to try an attempt to have him forego his divinity and join in the fight. And right now, Tenebris is considering, and so if any of you want to try and push him over the edge to try and make that solidified and happen, then I'd recommend you try and do that now. Otherwise, he probably won't.
But we don't. Has Riptide?
No.
So none of us.
No, but your
know
plan,
Riptide.
but you guys' plan even before that was to try and get him
Yeah.
to try and do that, anyways. So he's kind of laid the seeds that you guys aren't aware of, but so it's already in motion a little bit in the background. But you guys' plan was to do that regardless. So do you
Yeah.
wish to try and do anything else to try and help push that along?
Unless Cassie knows specifically about that conversation, I don't think there's anything else she can really do to help in that.
If we can get Kronos to come inside the dome, that might incentivize him also to come inside.
Yeah, but we can't.
Okay. Kronos is not divine. He can enter the dome if he wishes.
Exactly.
So just want to talk
I
to
think
Kronos.
we should have Kronos. Yeah, I'll talk to him. It might be Riptide that needs to talk to him though, because Riptide has this kind of concept of trying to get him in there, and he hasn't really discussed it with the rest of us. So
Yeah.
Someone should just go casually mention how funny it is that he has to rely on mortals to do his work for him.
Would this feel like that moment to like open the note? I don't like.
Oh,
Did you
Riptide's
look
note?
at Riptide?
Huh?
I said, "Did you look at Riptide?"
Yeah,
And look
I'm
at the
looking at
note.
Riptide.
Okay, now he shakes his head.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, without
the
knowing about that
note.
conversation, there's nothing that Cassie can really do to help with that.
Okay, I guess I'll go over to Kronos.
Okay. Yes. May I help you?
Can you spare some?
Yeah. Yeah. Can we talk somewhere where other people won't be able to hear?
Sure.
Alright.
And he freezes the time around you too.
Oh. All right.
It's easy. I have some
Whoa.
power still. I can still do some things.
Oh.
I'm sorry,
Uh,
Trevor. Can I go now? Cause
Oh,
I
yes.
don't know. I don't know what's happening. I probably gotta go take drugs or something.
Yes,
but
you can go.
my
Take care
thing
of
is
yourself.
hurting.
Yes, go take care of
Please,
yourself.
thank you.
Yes, goodbye.
Okay, see y'all.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Riptide?
Yeah, I'll ask Kronos and I'll be like, so, how badly are you trying to get rid of Tenebris?
What do you mean? I'm not trying to get rid of Tenebris.
Well, what do you want out of this?
I want my timeline back. That's what I
Yeah,
want.
but why do you think the two of you can't exist in the same place?
I mean, I want to, as much as possible. I keep trying to do so, and
Do you, though? I haven't seen you talk to him at all.
it's not like we parted last time I saw him on good terms. So, no, we haven't. We spoke a little bit when he first arrived, and you saw how that went. He's not exactly pleasant. To me specifically. So, it's not like
This
I...
is so much
That's
like a
'cause-
this is so much like a rom-com.
I
Yeah.
I'm haters.
Where they don't communicate. If they just communicated.
Uh-huh. It's not that I want
I
him...
think that
I mean, I don't know. It's not that I... Yeah, that's what I wanted, my timeline back, and for him to behave. That's all I can hope for. I only get that by winning, though. So, against you.
yeah, it's true. All right. Well, I was just curious.
Okay.
You know, I've heard tales of gods trying to kill each other, and I just want to know if it was real.
Yeah, there was a long time when many gods did fight it out, and they did kill each other constantly. And that spawned the Edict of Gods that prevented us from doing that while we're divine.
And only while you're divine.
Yes, only while we're divine. That's strange qualification, but I guess it makes sense.
It is kind of odd.
Well,
Who made the edict?
Ao.
If I could give you a chance to be on a fair footing against your brother, Tamarus, would you take it?
Fair footing against Tenebris?
Yes.
I don't know if that exists, to be honest. He's much stronger than I am.
If I could do it, would you take the first step towards it?
Yes. I think I would. I don't know
Okay.
what would result from that, but I would at least like to take him down a peg.
Okay, great. Keep that in mind.
Okay. I guess I will.
All right.
Another interesting individual, you know that?
Why is that?
Well, I've seen you now talk to all of us. All of the 6 that are
Mhm.
left.
Yeah.
Are you shopping around for a new god, or what's happening here?
I mean, maybe.
You just didn't strike me as the religious type.
Yeah. But I mean, it could be. Especially if I get powers from it and stuff.
Power is nice. Until it's all taken away.
Yeah. That would
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah, it's not a great feeling. Not a great feeling, I have to say.
And then you have like a metal man destroying your timelines.
Yeah, that decision didn't turn out well, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
rough go there.
yeah, whoopsie. Yeah, Sindor was good at many things, but also bad at many things, and he got a hold of
Caring for
powers.
human life.
Yeah, he's not good at that. Yeah, he doesn't really get that. And I mean, as immortals, it is difficult to always care because time is different for us and perspective is different. But it's important we take the time to care, and he just never understood.
Yeah. And so if you do lose if you lose, so the world's just gonna end? Or time's gonna be broken?
A lot of bad things are going to happen if Tannerus wins. Yes. And I really hope that doesn't happen.
Like what things in particular?
I don't know all of his plans, but I do know he's on the warpath, and it's going to be more severe than usual. So it's entirely possible he's going to lay waste to multiple planes, all that fun stuff. It is kind of what he does, but usually in a more clinical fashion. And it's usually more necessary, but not, well, I would say lately, but, it's been thousands of years.
Sounds like
And
he's
if-
tripping.
And if he loses, you said someone told me he was like all of space as well as judgment
Well,
or matter.
he is what binds. Well, I don't fully understand all of his powers, to be honest with you. Each of us have trouble understanding the other's specific details of powers, honestly. But yes, he is space, and he forged the planes and all that. I cannot tell you what would happen if he was no more. I don't know. It could be catastrophic, honestly. I hope not, but it could be.
And how hard is it to become a steward?
Very difficult. It takes approximately 2,500 years to become a steward.
But you can also screw with time. So can you just teach me how to become a steward in this freezing time right now?
Well, I was giving you a perspective in time you'd understand.
Oh, I see.
So it's different for my steward in particular. It is different. You're correct. And I can't just make it happen magically, no. Also, I am not divine, so I couldn't do it anyways.
Well, yeah. But you did it before. I just didn't know if you just knew the steps.
It's a training process primarily. And it involves kind of divvying up little bits of divinity and channeling into you slowly over time, so that you can take all of it at once. So you have to train your body to physically be able to handle it, which takes time. And it takes divinity to do it.
I see. All right. Well, this was a good conversation. I think this is like the first time I ever talked to you. But,
Well, it's understandable. You are the enemy after all. So I get it. No
yeah,
big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't bother me.
All
It's
right.
okay. I don't feel hurt. Don't worry. And he snaps the time bubble closed.
Okay, cool.
Anything else?
Guess I'll go back
Okay.
to Tanabris.
Okay.
And I'll say, you made up your mind?
Wait, I thought you said he left.
He did leave.
Oh, I go to his island.
Oh.
Yeah.
Make sure to mention how interesting it is that even with all his power and a person who is without power, he still needs to rely on tiny mortals to take care of his desires for him.
That's what we tell him when we want to fight him.
We're trying to get him to make up his mind to choose to fight us.
Yeah,
Trevor said that we had to convince him.
but the person who's trying to ally with him should not antagonize him to that effect.
I don't know. Makes him unstable.
So, is Ianthe gonna storm after Tanabris?
No, because Cassie is literally sitting on her.
No, but if anyone needs ideas for what to say to get him to decide to give up his divinity tomorrow.
I think that Cassie should let Ianthe up to go yell at somebody.
But we don't know. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
She has things to say.
We don't know he's there.
Tanabris?
He didn't tell it.
Well, Trevor said that it was the plan
Riptide.
before, so we don't need to know that he tried to start it.
No.
We don't know that Riptide is off talking to Tanabris. He hasn't told any of us.
No.
so
But
we
she can go
can't
of her own
help
accord
him.
to go talk to him anyways.
Yeah, like maybe I could go convince him to like just put an end to this whole thing
But
and
you-
grow up and be.
Because
a man.
Riptide was in the bubble
You
anyway,
don't know
so.
that anybody's doing that.
I don't
Because
need to
Riptide
know.
hasn't told us that.
Well,
we don't
I mean,
need to know.
you guys already. I mean, she knows that you guys are trying to make him give up his divinity. I mean, that's like your whole plan. So she knows that. So. Okay, are you gonna go chase Tanabris down and go yell at him? Your best mom voice.
Is
That
time
goes,
unfrozen
that
yet?
goes against my.
Well, I was just Riptide and Kronos.
I mean, like if I have to get him to like make up his mind in the right way, but
Okay, go for it then. I just want to see. I like hearing you yell at Tanabris personally. So I mean. So you going?
sure.
Okay. All right. You make your way to his island, and you approach Tanabris, and he turns to you, and he raises his eyebrow, and he says, "Well, this is interesting. This is a very strange day. Before, you wouldn't look at me, and supposedly you can't see me. So, what can I do for you other than punch you off the rock?"
You could. Wouldn't solve any of your problems. Funny how you can't do that.
Who says I have problems?
Why else would you be here?
Because it's fun.
Is that what this is?
I mean, I'm having a great time.
You don't look it.
This is just my face. It looks this way all the time.
That's unfortunate.
You're one to talk. I mean, oof,
We all have preferences.
that's true. So, did you come here just to berate me, or did you want something from me? Do you want to change sides, perhaps? I think it's too late for you, unfortunately.
I mean, considering that I'm on the side of someone who doesn't even have his powers, and yet you're still unable to do what we all know you want to do. With all of your power, you're still a little useless.
Useless. The god who created the plane you're from is useless. That's an interesting perspective.
Who's fighting your battle tomorrow? For mortals, with no help from you.
That's the rules.
The fate of your future is in the hands of a handful of mortals.
Well, as often is the case with deities, unfortunately, as per the edict of God, I can't get involved. Well, I definitely would have a long time ago.
therefore useless. I just, I feel sorry for your team.
Really, for my team, the clearly stronger team, you feel sorry for my team. How do you get to that exactly?
Because you can do nothing for them. Or yourself.
Why do you think they need me to do something for them? Do you think they can't win on their own against you?
Well, we've been working for people with no powers the entire time.
And look where that's gotten you. It looks like at least 2 of you have been killed just during this event alone.
How many more are here?
Fair point, I suppose. You seem expendable, though, and there are many of you. I'd be tossed away.
No one has any illusion that you see them any differently. And yet, the team with deficient gods is still the one that you're up against.
That's true. You do have the deficient god, although that was true even before he lost his divinity. My brother has always had his issues, and...
Don't you all?
What do you know of me?
Only that you're still here, doing this song and dance, playing by the rules.
Interesting. So, what would you propose to break the cycle then?
I don't know. Really are relying on mortals to solve all your problems. I'm sure you could come up with an idea. Maybe take things into, I'd say your own hands, but I don't think you know how to use them.
Oh, I will show you. I know how to use my hands. Believe me. And he leans in real close to you, and he grabs you by the shoulders, and he throws you back to the original island. And you crash back into the restaurant.
Can Alex
Make sure I'm just gonna laugh as loudly as I can. and then I'll say very quietly, I know you can hear me.
Does Maddox see this happening, and can he try to catch her?
Sure, yeah. Yeah. I'll just allow you to catch her. I don't need to make you roll for it, okay?
Okay.
So yeah, Max catches you before you get punted directly into a wall, basically. And
Pretty sure it's not the first time.
although it's clear that he wasn't trying to kill you anyway, just because he knows he's not allowed to do that right now.
Funny how he can't do it on his own. He has to follow the rules. She knew that, obviously.
Yeah. And you can see that the fact that he couldn't kill you really bothers him. Okay. So we'll see.
Give him a raspberry.
We'll see next time what his decision is. But also give me a persuasion roll, just so I can also have that too.
Sure, but also I just think it's fun to what's it called? Torment someone.
Yeah, to harass people.
Well, it's really fun. It's really fun to say I'm not mean in real life. Ever.
It's fun to be mean. It's fake. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's not. This is a fake character. So like, I get to like kind of like do the needle thing where you needle someone and all of their little cracks to make them bigger until they shatter. because I don't get to do it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't.
Botox.
I'll give her not here. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But
Yeah.
so I could just message you about it.
Okay. We will.
I messaged Giver. So.
Okay. That's fine. We can conclude this stuff next time. We have some stuff we have to wrap up, anyways. It looks like so. I do have. So next time we will have a little bit of other stuff first, and then we will go into the finale. But before we end tonight, I do have one final thing here, one final cutscene, if you will. So, ever since Iota Lockwood picked up the Mind Splitter, his mind and body became fragmented over space and time. His fellow horsemen only saw small changes, like a change in his appearance and sometimes mannerisms, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. In truth, he had been slipping in and out of space and time far more than they realized, far more than he even himself realized. Specifically, he was linked to all other versions of himself across the 12,682 loops that had occurred thus far in the timeline. More than linked, he was all of them, all at once. While Fate had merged her Omega Core agents into a single version of themselves, he was the opposite, a chaotic, ever-changing swirl of identity. He would also constantly be swapping places with himself, his real self, the one he called Iota Prime, and the one he believed himself to originally be, that is. His teammates would see his appearance change every few days or so, but to him, his absence could be months, years, even decades, depending on the strength of the slip. Even worse than this, sometimes he would get stuck in between. It was a horrible experience of drifting in a void of his own collective consciousness. It was during one of these slips that he met a fellow purveyor of chaos, a traveler between loops and planes. He never saw the form of this individual, but he listened to his advice. With his help, he was able to begin to gain control over his slipping, to go when and where he wanted. There was a cost, however. His forms in the timeline became nearly invisible to others, and he became a ghost, a déjà vu. This brought some sense of stability to a chaotic existence, and while not a permanent solution, it was a good reprieve. Now, someone who is unknowable, unrecognizable, who can slip between versions of the timeline, travel to different loops, this is someone who could come in handy, especially when the balance of the multiverse was at stake. The one who had taught him to master his chaos, known to him only as the Traveler, recruited Iota to a very special task that he was perfectly suited for. A special group of individuals was to be put together, but it was vital that it need not look from the outside like they were being put together. His charter was simple: to make sure each individual from the correct loop in the timeline that was most likely to end up at the right place at the right time. This took quite a bit of time, but he waited, he watched, and he took all steps necessary to ensure each member would find each other when the time was right. He wasn't allowed to hear the rest of the plan, because doing so would make it no longer work. But he knew everything hung in the balance. He was the ranger that guided a young changeling girl to find her first frost fur in the woods in Siska. He was the blacksmith apprentice that provided vital information for Maddox to find his niece. He was the friar that guided Nomad and his crew to safe harbor and far away after first needing rescue. He was the captain of the trading ship that was attacked by pirates that Ianthe saved that led her to Mercy's Reach. He was the revolutionary that led the army against the Lord's Keep that would leave Aggie an orphan in the hands of Giver. He was everywhere at once, in every loop, and then suddenly, it was done. Everyone was pulled from the timeline, and his work was completed. He accompanied his fellow horsemen to the Nexus, but his aura could not take the strain of existing nowhere once again in the Nexus. His other versions called to him, pulled at him. The strain became so strong that shortly after arriving, he was forcibly ripped back into the timeline. He wasn't sure if anyone would remember him once he was gone. Such was the trouble with his abilities. His work was done, however, and he had faith in those he had been tasked with preparing. He emptied his coin purse into a box, along with a teleportation coin, and writes a quick letter, which he tosses in as well. He then summons his mail demon and sent the whole box off. He sits alone atop an old lookout tower, sipping a cup of tea and looking up at the sky, waiting to see if it all come crashing down around him or not. Far away, a box is opened up by a slimy green tentacle, and a fez bobs happily up and down in a dimly lit room. It's open for business.